everybody, welcome back to A Discourse About Gaming, the podcast all about video games. I'm Matt Hudson.
And I'm Josh.
Joined by Josh. How are you doing today, Josh?
Oh, fantastic. It's one of those great days, a Wednesday in the middle of...
No, it's Friday for them.
Oh,
you're
sorry, Friday.
Show
Oh, my bad.
You've revealed when we record the show.
Oh, I'm excited for the weekend, Matt. I'm very excited.
Friday, I just got off work.
Looking forward to playing some games, you know?
Just hung up my my hat at the steel mill.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, video games. The big news of the week is that Microsoft bought Bethesda Zenimax Corporation. And what's funny is I'm seeing I follow a couple random little video game pages on Facebook, and I'm seeing just random people what? Microsoft owns Doom now.
Yeah.
So Microsoft bought the Bethesda Zenimax umbrella of studios.
Okay, let me put this in.
Read it off.
Can I put this in perspective really quick?
So
basically you have especially something like E3, you have the three big ones, the three big companies. You got Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, right? And those are the ones that have the consoles, right? You got Nintendo Switch, Sony PlayStation, and Microsoft Xbox, right? Underneath those, you have four major companies, and they're publishers mainly, right? So you have, what do you have? You have Ubisoft, EA, Activision, and Bethesda.
Yeah, the main ones.
The main four. Those are pretty much the main four big ones that publish a ton of games.
Right.
So, most of the time you have one of these publishers maybe acquiring a certain IP or maybe a different developer, and it's usually a smaller acquisition. Or you might have Microsoft, they acquired Obsidian, I believe, last year or 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a smaller of an acquisition.
No, Sony bought Insomniac this year for $200 million.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, that paid off already because Spider-Man was
immediately
huge.
paid off.
Those are small. That's usually what happens.
Ones,
I feel like this is a once in a lifetime thing where a giant company like Microsoft pays 7.5.
A console manufacturer, not just any game publisher. A console manufacturer. If Sony bought EA. You'd be like, well, what? It'd be insane. That's basically what this is.
It's exactly what
this is. Because they didn't just buy, Bethesda Game Studios. They bought, the ZeniMax parent
company,
overlord company, the Bethesda game umbrella.
Yeah.
And I'll read them off. The umbrella is mainly, the big ones are Arcane, Machine Games, Bethesda Game Studios, obviously, id, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog, and Roundhouse. And, the main thing for me is just,
how much did they pay for this acquisition?
They paid $7.5 billion.
That's with a B.
Billion with a B.
Yeah. Okay, let's put this in perspective.
Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion.
$4 billion.
Star Wars.
Frickin' Star Wars.
I don't know. Honestly, I thought about this as okay, this is a huge deal. Oh, this is crazy. And my first thought, honestly, was oh, now I don't have to buy Doom Eternal. I was
selfish. Go straight to the selfish thought.
I could just download it pretty soon.
That's funny. I thought the same.
That was my first thought.
My first thought also was Game Pass. This adds so much to Game Pass. So many different games.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we'll get a lot of their old IPs.
So everything. I really think every game that they've made that's readily
will just
available
be on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think
Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas.
I think every Bethesda-owned Xbox One game will be on the smart delivery, the whole network,
oh man,
because I don't know, this is a real quick side tangent, but is there anything that doesn't work on Series X? It all works, right?
It all works. Yeah, they confirmed all of the previous three Xboxes, all of those games.
So what? The ones that are backwards. The ones that are backwards.
Yeah, the ones that are. Yes.
So what does smart delivery mean then?
So smart delivery, I think from
Microsoft throws that word around.
They do, and this smart delivery is different than just backwards compatibility. Smart delivery, from my understanding, is the Xbox makes it easy for different developers to go back into their previously released games and actually update them and upgrade them and improve the graphics, improve the frame rate, whatever they want, they can improve on to match the new hardware. And that's the main difference between just backwards compatible game, which you can have a backwards compatible game which I assume is going to happen on the Series S, right? You're going to have a lot of backwards compatible games that are not smart delivered.
Well, Microsoft just came out and said that, they just came out and said that, because there was the report a week ago that said that Series S will play the Xbox One base version of stuff, not the X enhanced. But then Microsoft came out and said, no, they'll have some more enhancements, but it'll vary from game to game.
Sure, so that must be just, I'm guessing, just the natural enhancements that will happen automatically with new hardware.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge tech guy.
It's possible Master Chief Collection will run at a higher frame rate.
Oh, I bet,
on Series S, but
without
then,
even having
nothing else.
Someone explained it to me earlier. If a dev, as far as frame rate,
enables it.
If a dev enabled a varying frame rate, then it will be upgraded to let's say 60 to 120 or 30 to 60. But if a dev locks it in at 30, pretty much every first party Sony game locks it in at 30. For most of those third person action games, those are locked. And if that, let's say theoretically those went to Xbox, that would be locked at 30. The dev would have to go back in and actually change that.
Okay.
That's a whole side tangent.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's confusing because it's there's all these Xbox One games that you can play on your One X, but not all of them are One X enhanced. And the ones that are, it's okay, did the developer go in and add stuff?
Yeah,
and I think it's both. I think there's some games where the developer actually did work on it, and there's some where they did not.
Yes,
right?
You're gonna
they
see.
Just kind of unlocked it.
You're gonna naturally, you might just see some natural improvements, just better. Of course, loading times, right? So the Spider-Man example on PS5 and PS4, just the loading times. Without the upgraded version, it was just instant, right?
But the thing is, though, is that the first thing I noticed with the One X, when I got the One X, was I was disappointed by how few games even took advantage of it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of games where it's just like Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Same game. There's no enhancements, and that's a first party.
Loading times might have been faster.
Not noticeable. They are faster just because the hard drive is a faster read speed than the regular Xbox.
And I know the PS4 Pro did that with Bloodborne. It was a faster load speed and all that.
Oh, the PS4 Pro did that?
PS4 Pro did that compared to PS4 for Bloodborne.
Okay, so it's possible there'll be improved load times, that kind of thing. But there's not a dramatic difference from the One to the One X, unless you're playing a big flagship game. Gears 5 looks dramatically different.
Yeah.
Because my brother, when he came down here last Christmas, he used the old Xbox One and I used the One X, and we used them on TVs side by side. And the difference was crazy. Because one was in 30, one was in 60 FPS too.
That's a huge difference. Yeah.
But most games aren't like that. And for me, it was disappointing. Okay, there's not that many games that take advantage of it. But I think the Series X, there'll be more games.
Yeah, I was gonna say your problem probably was you already played most of those big flagship games. So all the ones that did take advantage of it, you already played and beat on the original. So
there's also a lot of games where they prioritize resolution over frame rate, and that's always kind of disappointing.
I personally,
most games are like that.
It depends on the game for me.
It depends on the game, but most games don't even give you the option. It's just you get 4K and that's it. Outer Worlds didn't have an option.
I know.
It's just 4K, and it looked good. I guess
I wanted frame rate for that.
Yeah, because it doesn't look good. It's kind of.
I don't care how
it looks better than the Fallout games. The color palette looks nice.
Yeah, it still kind of felt like a Fallout game though. Kind of a little bit.
That's
janky.
What's amazing about this acquisition is now Microsoft owns. Well, they own all 3 Fallout studios. I don't know if you know this.
I forgot there was. I knew there was 2. I didn't know there was 3 Fallout studios.
Yeah. So
you mean Fallout / Skyrim, or sorry, Fallout / Elder Scrolls? They do the same thing, right?
Kind of. So the people who made the original Fallouts are at another developer that Microsoft just bought with this acquisition. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
The original Fallout? You're talking about Fallout 1 and 2?
People, Fallout 1 and 2, yeah. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
Then Fallout 3 was Bethesda East Coast. I forget what city.
I'll cut out this dead space. Let me just find this.
I'm going to write it down.
What was that? Well, I'll find it on here. I just don't remember. Was it Roundhouse? can't remember which one it is. It was like they were called Interplay. Interplay Productions. Ah, okay. Yeah, In Exile. They make the Wasteland. They make the Wasteland games, and the guys who the guy who founded the studio, Brian Fargo, was an Interplay co-founder.
Huh.
And Interplay made Fallout 1 and 2. And them making Wasteland was them trying to make their own like modern version of Fallout.
Mm.
And so like Microsoft bought Obsidian.
Yeah.
And they made Fallout New Vegas. And then Microsoft now owns Bethesda Game Studios and In Exile.
Wow.
Who made Fallout 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. I mean, In Exile didn't make 1 and 2, but they have some of the same people.
Mm.
So now they have like a bunch of people
from the Fallout universe.
From the whole Fallout spectrum. Yeah, it's crazy how it's all come full circle. It's weird. Like, I wonder if any of them have like beef with each other or anything.
Yeah. Like In Exile, you're just ripping off Fallout with Wasteland.
Well, that's what's funny is like In Exile.
But they were the original.
Yeah, could they just make a Fallout game now? Like, I don't know.
Oh, so yeah, I saw you. I'm sure some people saw this as well, but a lot of people were tweeting out, "Hey, Obsidian, and now that we have Fallout back, you got Obsidian and the makers of, and then you got Bethesda, which own Fallout IP. So, in Obsidian's of Microsoft Studios, hey, New Vegas 2, Fallout New Vegas 2."
That'd be cool, or just a new Fallout game from them would be cool.
Yeah,
but they already made Outer Worlds, so it's kind of like, do they make a sequel to Outer Worlds and make it, or just
aren't they making Avowed as well?
Oh,
which
yeah,
is like their new.
Avowed, yeah.
So I think what they're gonna have is Outer Worlds and Avowed.
They make a lot of games though.
Yeah,
like in a short time they made both Pillars of Eternity games, the South Park games.
Did you play any of those?
No.
Yeah, I didn't play any.
It was very like old school RPGs, and I thought about going to them because they're on Game Pass. I thought about playing them at some point, but I haven't gotten around to it. I know they're very like old school.
They seem time sinky.
I've never played an RPG like that, so I don't even know if it's like my thing. That's what I'm worried. I'm worried I'm gonna get into it and I'm like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I haven't even tried it. I'll try it at some point. But yeah, it does feel time sinky. It's like a big RPG.
Time sinky, and it's old school RPG, so you're looking at a lot of different moving parts, different systems. You're gonna have to learn a lot for that. I might try it.
That's like the type of RPG where you have to like spend an hour or two like researching information about the game, like how the systems work.
Yeah, 5 minutes in,
or else you'll build a character and then 20 hours in, the character's like doesn't work in the game.
Yeah,
because you didn't upgrade like the charisma stat when you thought you could ignore it.
Like old school RPGs, even old school Elder Scrolls and even Fallout, you put stuff into a talent tree and then you're stuck with that the rest of the game.
Even like. I was going to say recent games, but this game's like 16 years old. But even like KOTOR, like there's useless stats in KOTOR where it's like, don't put your points into that.
Yeah.
The games now are more balanced where you can kind of just play how you want and it's fine.
Yeah.
But like, they're older RPGs. You can build a character and just be completely screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we get too much off on a tangent here, this acquisition, I want to go over a few things. What does this mean for exclusivity on Xbox?
They said Phil Spencer said, right, direct quote basically, that
you want me to find the quote?
You can find the quote, but I'm pretty sure it was basically just that games will be exclusive on a case by case basis. They said they weren't specific, right?
Yeah. But who spends $7.5 billion? I've seen this argument.
So you're convinced they're going to do exclusive on some games?
I feel like most of them have to be, except for the ones that are already out there right now. But I don't know. I feel like they can go either way. They can either go.
Here's my thing. Okay. You say what you're gonna say.
I feel there's pretty much two different routes I could see them taking. They either go full exclusivity, say "fuck you, PlayStation." Yeah. You guys have a bunch of cool studios. Yeah. Now we got a bunch of cool games too. And kind of, forcing people's hands to buy into the Xbox ecosystem. They could go that route. That doesn't fit with their marketing recently in the past year, even, of, hey, play anywhere. We're the gamer centric, studio, and company. We want you to be able to play wherever you're at, on whatever you want,
They said
care.
That.
They've straight up said that.
Their press release said that you could play wherever you want. Their press release basically said the big games aren't going to be exclusive.
Yeah. This goes against that, and if this idea goes against that, so the other reason I could see them spending $7.5 billion for this acquisition is adding value to Game Pass.
That's exactly what I knew you were going to head that direction anyways, and that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because that's been their whole focus, not just for the last couple years, but mainly this year, like as they're pushing the Series S and the Series X. Their whole like focal point, like the whole thrust of everything is just Game Pass.
Yeah.
And like I think they're really going to beef up the market. Once the entire Bethesda Games network of games, I think they're gonna put them all on Game Pass, right? Every single one.
So that automatically adds value to Game Pass that they weren't going to have before. Because I was thinking about this. It's not like Xbox is gaining new games that they didn't have before, right? Like all of these Bethesda games were IPs were on Xbox. Yeah. None of them were exclusive to PC or PlayStation, right? So it's not. That's what was a little bit confusing about this. It's not like they acquired these studios, now they're going to be on Xbox. No, they were already on Xbox.
It's a little weird. So how much they spent. That's lot of money. They spent so much money just to sell Game Pass subscriptions.
But that's
what it is. That's it?
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
They did announce Game Pass went from 10 million subscribers to 15 million subscribers just over this year, the past 6 months, actually.
That's actually really crazy.
That's insane. $5 million
That probably has to do
increase.
with the pandemic, too, though.
It could be, yeah, that makes sense.
Because game sales overall are higher.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, I'm low on money. I could just spend $10 a month and play what the heck.
Hundreds of games or whatever. Yeah. So that makes sense. I think this is also it's going to continue to grow, especially with acquiring Bethesda. You're going to have a lot of people say, why am I going to pay $70 probably for a next-gen Bethesda game when I can literally go onto my Xbox if I have one and pay $10 for that month and just play that game and then unsubscribe. You don't have to stay.
Here's the thing. This works because it worked for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't really planning on getting a Series X. I was kind of like, whatever. I have a 1X, and they said that, every game that comes out in the next year after the Series X comes out, you can play it on your 1X. It's fine. You can play it there. It's going to look worse, but you can still play it. There's not going to be like any big exclusive games. And so I was like, why do I even want one? But I can play like Doom Eternal with like there's probably going to be an even more enhanced patch for Series X, like
the demons will look even bloodier.
Yeah, like there's going to be all these games now that are going to have more like there's going to be all these Game Pass games that I'll be able to play. Like I'm excited for Dragon Quest 11 to come out.
Oh yeah. You want to play that on the X you're talking about? Like
I was going to play on the 1X because on Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's coming day one to Game Pass.
Yeah.
And I could just play it on the Series X and maybe there'll be more enhancements, maybe there won't. Who cares?
I think there will be.
But like still like I don't know. It just made it, and honestly, the all access thing makes it so easy.
So the same thing happened to me actually about a year ago when Obsidian released The Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
And I was, this close. You can't see when I'm just tiny, a little bit.
Centimeter.
Centimeter. I was this close to buying it on PlayStation 4 on my PS4 Pro because I was like, the better version, whatever. But then it was announced that I was coming to Game Pass because they just acquired them, and that changed where my money went. I went straight to Game Pass instead of buying it on the PS4, and that's going to be very appealing to people of adding value to Game Pass. Imagine having this when we were kids, when we didn't have money to spend on games.
I had GameFly, and I kind of used GameFly like Game Pass is.
But how old were you when that came out? That was even probably in your teens.
Yeah, like high school.
Yeah, so imagine being an 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid where you love video games but you just don't have the money for it, and your parents might not want to pay $60, $70 a game, but this is appealing towards those parents as well. Think about, I always try to think about low-income families, right? You got low-income families, you got disabled gamers. I saw Alana Pierce make a good point, like, hey, this is going to help low-income families that can't afford, they can only afford maybe a $70 game once a year. Now they get hundreds for $10 a month or whatever.
And if they do the all-access thing.
And the all-access,
it's
which
like
is
$25 a month for 2 years.
And for disabled gamers, which... The Last of Us did a really good job of...
They have the controller. They have the...
Access. Oh, and Xbox. Yeah,
adaptive,
Xbox.
What's it called?
Adaptive controller, yeah. So that helps out with disabled gamers. But I've heard Alana Pierce made a good point where disabled gamers, they might fork out, $60 for a game that they can't even play. They realized like 10 minutes in, like, I can't even play this. Now's a really good point with Game Pass. They can jump in and try it, and if they can't play it, they can't play it, which is a bummer. But it's like at least they don't.
Hopefully they don't have a data cap.
Yeah,
just download a 120 gig game.
Oh my
god! Like, oh, time to delete it.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting move by Microsoft acquiring, the big three acquiring one of the big four.
Yeah.
Kind of to put in perspective, it's like Sony buying EA. That's insane. I saw another thing someone posted was like, hey, Microsoft now has EA and Bethesda. Because
but EA is not day one. That's the only.
It's not day
caveat.
one. It's a little different. But Game Pass has EA and Bethesda. Maybe not day one for EA, but they have a lot.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but like in a few months they'll have the new Madden game's getting bad reviews. I don't know what's a good sports game people like.
FIFA. Everyone likes FIFA.
Yeah, everyone
likes NBA.
You can get a Series S for $25 a month and just have FIFA. That's not a lot of money for a new console and to have unlimited access to all these games.
The barrier of entry. That's what Microsoft removed this generation. And that's why I think they are doing something fundamentally different than Sony and PlayStation.
Even just like buying WoW. In the early 2000s, you had to buy the game for $50 and then pay $15 a month to keep playing the game. And now you can have... For $10 a month, you could just play all these games.
And I was a sucker. I was the one that did that.
Well, so was like 20 million other people.
And every expansion, right? Every expansion, you bought another $50 expansion.
People are still playing WoW and WoW Classic,
Yeah, and so the value of Game Pass at this point, there's no argument against it. Honestly, there's no argument against it. You got literally Bethesda. So anyway,
now, do you think the PlayStation Plus collection holds any candle to Game Pass? Because I don't. I think it's totally different.
I think they're. Yeah, I think
the PlayStation Plus collection feels like here's some old games. Have fun. And the Game Pass thing is here's some old games.
Ongoing.
Here's some old games. Oh, by the way, every new game we put out, you can play it right away.
Yeah.
Because Sony's never going to do that.
No.
Because they don't need to.
They don't need to.
Because you're still going to buy God of War 2.
Yep. I'm gonna pay $70 for God of War 2.
They know that we're going to pay $70 for God of War 2. They don't care.
That PS Plus collection where it's going to be a bunch of, very high-rated PS4 games, but they're still PS4 games. They're still last gen. It is a great collection. I think there's only 18 games, though, or is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's only 18.
It's like the whole Bethesda acquisition.
Yeah, the acquisition was 18-plus games. So I think that offering, at this point, I don't think it's in direct response to Game Pass anymore.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure. Maybe it was in direct response to Game Pass, but it kind of fell short.
I don't think it was. I think it was. They were probably thinking like, we need to have something to respond to Game Pass.
Something,
but,
yeah. Maybe
I think that's all it was.
I think it's their like one little token. We're doing something good for the gamers. But again, most of the people buying a PS5 in the first year are hardcore gamers, anyways, right? Like, we already played most of those games. I could look at that list, and I probably only have 3 or 4 that I didn't play out of that 18. So that doesn't speak to me at all. Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna jump into Persona just to try it out now that it's free, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna jump into.
Will you though?
I don't know.
Called you out.
Not with Bethesda. I actually do. I really want to look into Persona because everyone talks highly of it.
Bethesda owns the whole Elder Scrolls series. So
hold on. Do we want to go over what Bethesda owns?
Yeah, let's just go. I want to go over what I think is going to come to Game Pass.
Okay.
Especially because there's games that have come to Game Pass, like Doom used to be on Game Pass, and that's the thing is like now
they've taken games off, like Fallout 3. They took off.
Okay, that's the thing. That's what I hate about Game Pass.
Yeah.
I don't like this about Game Pass. They put Red Dead Redemption 2 on Game Pass like 6 months ago.
Yeah, for 1 month.
It just left.
Yeah.
And that kind of like they don't give a lot of warning. They give like a month to 2 weeks warning.
2 weeks? Sometimes it's like only 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, and if you had just downloaded it, it's like, what if I don't have enough time to beat this 100-hour game? Like, 'cause Red Dead 2 is long.
Yeah, or if you didn't want to play that specific
and they try
game.
to like incentivize you, like you could still buy it for 40. You could buy it at a discount, like 20% off. But it's like that's not that cheap.
Yeah, but to be fair, you weren't. A lot of what Game Pass is are games that you weren't going to play anyways.
That's true, yeah.
And you saw it and you're like, or maybe you wanted to play it, but the barrier of entry of paying $60, you're like, nah, not for me.
That's what's appealing about this acquisition, though, is that now all of these Bethesda games that do come to Game Pass as a result of this, they won't leave.
Yeah.
Now Doom will stay there.
Correct, yeah, because all of Xbox first-party games are on there.
They just stay there.
They just stay there.
Halo Wars is there.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep. even if it's underperforming other games, because I assume they take off the games that people aren't downloading as much. I assume that's what they do to make more room to put more games on there, right? So in a sense, most of these are games. The games that leave, most of them are games that it's kind of our fault.
Well, they're all third. No, I don't. I think it's really just like. My guess is that all third-party studios, they say, hey,
contract.
Put your game on here for a year.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, we'll do this amount of time. They set a certain amount of time that it goes up there.
Yeah.
Because there's been games that leave and then immediately come back.
Yeah.
City Skylines left, and then the next month it was back on.
Oh, because they paid for a new contract.
because like they got a new contract, basically.
Okay.
So like there's games that leave and then come back.
I think that Xbox is gonna work out the kinks, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's Netflix for gaming. It's something very progressive in the gaming sphere. And it's like, yeah, eventually they're gonna work all these kinks out, I believe, where contracts may be longer and they'll give you a longer notice before they take a game off. I'm not sure about the PC side. That was kind of cool. That PC I think it was only $5 for Game Pass for the longest time as a beta. That was extremely generous of Microsoft at that point. Like $5, that's a steal for hundreds of games,
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways.
So, ZeniMax owns the Elder Scrolls series. And we've had Morrowind and Oblivion on Game Pass before, I think. Oblivion for sure, maybe not Morrowind.
I was bummed Oblivion got taken off.
You can buy Morrowind on the store. Like, it's across...
You can buy Oblivion,
It's backwards compatible, too.
Yep.
So, it's obvious Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim will definitely come to Game Pass.
Yes.
All three. Which would be cool, because I never played Morrowind.
Oh,
I kind of want to play Morrowind, honestly. Just to, like, go travel back in time to this old-ass
I think my brother recently
game.
played it, in the past couple years and said it didn't really hold up.
There's no fast travel.
I know. You gotta walk everywhere.
But that could be...
There's a potion that
cool.
shoots you up into the air a million miles, and you could get around that, but...
I remember friends in high school telling me that they would, like, tie a rubber band to their analog sticks, so they would just, like, have them walk across the map.
What we used to have to do. So if they had... So, Elder Scrolls, so Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, definitely coming.
And then Elder Scrolls Online, obviously.
And ESO, which is on there now.
It's already on there, yeah. And I think they release expansions for free every now and then.
Oh, I hope that they release all the expansions on.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that either. I was about to buy them, too.
Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't.
The Destiny 2 expansions just went up for free.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's insane. Anyways, go on.
Okay, this is interesting. So I'm on the ZeniMax website, just looking at their library of games. In the Fallout section, they don't mention New Vegas as a game they made. Isn't that weird?
They didn't make it, right?
But they did. They published it.
They published. Oh,
so this is
ZeniMax.
like Bethesda published games. It's got like Doom and Rage and Elder Scrolls on here.
So they show the Fallout section.
So they show the Fallout section. They talk about Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Fallout Shelter, the mobile game, and then Fallout 3. And they don't mention New Vegas.
Do you think that's because there was some animosity?
I think there is. I've always heard rumors that there's like this
because
weird...
their game did better?
No, not even that it did better. I feel like there was always this weird kind of ownership that Bethesda Game Studios felt over Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they didn't like that Obsidian were given the ability to make a Fallout game without them being involved.
They used all of the same assets.
Yeah, because like...
Was it called Fallout 3 New Vegas?
No, it's called Fallout New Vegas.
Okay.
Because it was like Bethesda Game Studios made Fallout 3, came out in 2008, and then they immediately started working on Skyrim, and that came out in 2011.
Yeah.
New Vegas came out in 2010, just 2 years after Fallout 3, and it was made under like orders from like Zenimax, the publishing umbrella. And they just like contracted Obsidian to make it. And I think the rumor was always that Bethesda Game Studios was upset that they were allowed to make the game. Like that Obsidian made it, yeah. Even though it's not their franchise. Like it's like the Fallout 3.
Weird.
Yeah, I know.
Zenimax owns Fallout.
Yeah, ZeniMax / Bethesda game publisher or whatever the heck.
Because Bethesda makes games but also publishes games.
Yeah.
There's
publisher. Bethesda Game Studios and then there's Bethesda the publisher, and they're kind of different entities, but they have the same name.
Okay.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So that is interesting that they don't mention Fallout New Vegas on their own website.
But I'm sure all those games will come to Game Pass because I know even Fallout Shelter is on Xbox One.
Here's the thing: will Obsidian be able to just put Fallout New Vegas on their website?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe
That's already on Game Pass, so isn't it?
I think so.
I think it is. I know Fallout 4 was on there for a while too. It might still be on there actually.
Yeah.
But that's the worst Fallout. So
okay.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas are better than 4.
Do you want to get into this now?
No,
let's move on.
Well, we can get into it. No. See, I don't like Fallout 3 that much. I don't think it holds up as well as it used to.
4 holds up better, but
we can go over this after I go over the games. Okay, so and then obviously Doom. So there'll be Doom 2016 and then Doom Eternal. But I think Bethesda published
the re-releases?
The re-releases of Doom 1, 2, and 3 and Doom 64.
What?
I think, right? Let me just double check.
Yeah. If they did, that just adds even more value to this acquisition.
Yeah, exactly. There's like so many.
They bought an umbrella that has a bunch of mini umbrellas underneath it.
Yeah, publishers, Bethesda Softworks. Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's a re-release on Switch, right?
This was a re-release on everything.
Okay.
They put it out on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
And 64? Nintendo 64?
Yeah, this is Doom 64.
That's when it originally came out.
Yeah, Doom 64 isn't just... it's a different game. It's not Doom on the N64. It's like a new game, which I didn't know until recently.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, there'll be Doom 1, 2, and 3, and then Doom 64, and those will come to Game Pass, I'm assuming. Which is cool, so...
More value.
Yeah, no, insane value. And then Rage 1 and 2 will come, I'm sure. Those are both Bethesda games.
Let me raise my hand really quick. I love those games.
You played the second one?
I played both. Yeah,
I didn't play either of them.
I beat both. They were interesting.
The second one's nothing like the first, right?
Yeah, nothing like the first.
Yeah.
The first, it's hard to explain, but they were really cool first-person shooters that were kind of semi-open world. The second one was full open world, but you kind of go into little dungeons off the side of the road.
I always heard the first game didn't know what it wanted to be. It was like this weird kind of misstep.
Yeah. But it was fun to play.
I've heard it's fun. I heard it feels good to play and everything.
The vehicle combat, you had back in older games, a lot of older games did this where they had random mini games. Like this one, there was a whole race circuit where you had a whole side set of missions where you can just upgrade your vehicle to be better in races and demolition derbies. That you can go into that game and just play the demolition derby part. You don't even have to play the story or anything. I put the story on hold for a little bit just so I can get first place in that. So yeah, there's cool stuff like that in there, which I appreciated. And now the next one is
Prey, the Prey series, as well as
it says Dishonored?
No, it's the same developers. So the Prey games and Dishonored. Well, what's interesting is that Arcane's newest game, what's it called? Deathloop?
Deathloop.
That's a PS5 exclusive game, and it's staying on PS5 apparently, even though Bethesda's publishing it.
So you're gonna hold on. Yeah. You're gonna load up Deathloop on your PlayStation 5, and there's gonna be a Microsoft splash screen saying Microsoft Studios.
I don't know if it's that soon enough that.
How awesome would that be, though? You load it up on your PlayStation, Microsoft Studios.
I mean, Minecraft's already like that.
Does it show Microsoft Studios splash screen?
I don't remember. It might. It probably does.
Maybe we'll check it. It's on Game Pass. I guess we have to try it on PlayStation.
I own the PS4 version, so
okay. Try it. Check that out. That's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have what another tribute to 2020. Who would have ever thought out of all the weird things 2020 has brought us that we have a Microsoft exclusive game on PlayStation?
I mean, it's been that way for a while, technically, with Minecraft, and the Outer Worlds was a Microsoft published game when it came out.
That came after, though. The acquisition came after, I believe.
No, came before. That's why I was on Game Pass.
But it was already on track to be...
Yeah, they bought them when it was 6 months before it came out.
Okay, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
This one's going to be... Oh, yeah, this one...
They bought it sooner than they bought...
That's so weird. So it's going to be a year with this only on that. Do they rip it away? They can't.
No, they won't. They said it's going to be exclusive to PS5.
For a year?
I think so.
It'll come...
Is it timed? I don't know.
I think it's a year.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you're right. It is timed.
That one and
So
the
but they said
horror game.
They said the timed exclusive will stay.
Tokyo something.
Yeah, I forget what that was called.
But there's is it Something Among Us? No. Evil Within, I think the same developers are making the Tokyo game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But it's just it's a horror game.
Yeah.
Which I don't know much about horror games.
Not into horror games?
No, there it is, Evil Within.
But yeah, the Evil Within games, those will probably come to Game Pass as well.
That's Bethesda as well, right?
Yeah, Evil Within 1 and 2. And then the Wolfenstein games. There's the Wolfenstein 1 and its expansion, The Old Blood. And the New Order. Oh no, the New Order is the first game.
I never tried the expansion.
I never finished the first game.
I finished it.
I need to finish it.
It was good.
Wolfenstein 2, I never played the second one. And then Youngblood. Yeah, I've heard the second one and Youngblood are not as good.
I've heard the second one is so much better than the first.
Really?
But the expansion of the second one.
Youngblood I've heard is garbage.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that's bad. It's like co-op and
Yes, that Youngblood and Old Blood I heard was pretty good, but Youngblood expansion was not. But Wolfenstein 2 was critically acclaimed.
I've heard it's not as good as the first, but I don't know. I haven't played it myself. So
I heard the story was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it on my list of games to play, so maybe I'll try that out this year before the PlayStation 5.
And then lastly is Quake. Now, I don't know what Quake games are even available to play on Xbox, but
Quake,
if there is any, they'll probably come.
Quake to me is a PC game.
Yeah, exactly.
And Doom used to be a PC game, so if they reboot or at least put resources into a new Quake, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Well, that's another...
was it an arena shooter?
Yeah. It's another... it was built off of Doom's popularity, basically, back in the day.
Okay. Or id
Software made Quake. Yeah, they made the original Wolfenstein games, Doom, Quake, and Rage. Yeah, they made Rage 1 before they made Doom 2016. I think that was the last thing they did. Yeah, Rage came out in 2011.
Oh, 2011. Wow.
What is this? This says it came out on iOS first? It must have been like a mobile game. Yeah, there's no way it was the full game on iOS.
Yeah.
Like this before PC, like what? But yeah, anyway. So I wanted to bring up, with this whole Microsoft buying Bethesda, what is your favorite game on this list of games we just read?
Oh, that's asking too much. That's asking for a favorite child. Oh man, there's so many good ones. I am a sucker for the Elder Scrolls series. So, honestly, okay, if I had to put a name to it, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
I already knew you were going to say that. You didn't have to think about it. I could have said it for you.
They're just everything about that game was so phenomenal. The leaps and bounds that it accomplished after the release of Morrowind.
Yeah.
Following that release, Morrowind was successful and critically acclaimed and all that. It was an incredible game, but something about Oblivion took it to that next level. Like it took it pretty much enhanced every part about Morrowind and made it more user friendly. So the quest system is easier to understand and navigate through. So your builds, your different abilities that you can choose from, those were all easier to handle. Plus you had the RB and LB instead of the black and the white buttons.
Yeah.
So just the accessibility from the controller standpoint, but then you had a story which was really cool. Just like basically these hellgates were opening everywhere. Like that's a cool story. Cool, sign me up. Which was more interesting.
Great description.
Yeah, Morrowind. Yeah, well, there's more to it, but yeah, basically everything Oblivion did on a technical standpoint compared to Morrowind, innovating on Morrowind was incredible, and being I think it was the launch title or maybe within the launch window.
It was for sure, yeah. It was within that window
of 360.
Because I remember it had the infamous first piece of DLC, the horse armor. The horse armor DLC, you pay $5 for armor for your horse,
and now everyone throws money at the screen.
I know,
for a
and
dance, so. On
man,
Fortnite.
how far we've come.
Yeah, so we complained about horse armor, which was
insane.
a cool aesthetic, but Yeah, but
Now people pay $20 for a Call of Duty skin pack.
My kid is never gonna have the credit card tied to his. Anyways,
I know. I don't understand that. Yeah, that's crazy.
But Oblivion, basically, on a technical standpoint, you're looking at it's a next gen game, at least launch window. You got better graphics. Like, insanely better graphics compared to anything. Like, I remember thinking back in the day, like, oh, this is photorealistic now.
Oblivion?
Yeah, Oblivion was photorealistic.
That game is so ugly.
My brother
now.
and I were just, jaw-dropping.
No, yeah. I said it last week. I remember seeing Madden 2002 and thinking it was lifelike.
Oh, yeah, the crowd. And but yeah, it looked so good. And from a technical standpoint, you had, I think that's when they introduced, you got a spell or a sword in one hand or a spell and a sword in the other hand.
Yeah.
And they introduced kind of combining spells like that. And the storytelling, the side quests, you had different factions you could join, which you couldn't in Morrowind, but they just expanded on it, made it more tight-knit as far as the story. I actually played more of the factions than I did of the main story.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those games, similar to Skyrim, you just get lost walking from point A to point B. You don't care about the story most of the time, honestly. The world itself is intriguing, and Oblivion's the first one that actually introduced that on a grand scale and brought it to where, again, Morrowind, you said, like you mentioned before, you were having to walk everywhere. It was Morrowind, you had to read the quest that someone would give you, and they would say it's 20 paces north of this building, and turn left at the burnt tree. It's like that kind of quest description, where there was no waypoint. So when Oblivion introduced the waypoint system and all that, it's just like everything was streamlined. That was a fun game. I put hundreds of hours into that. Hands down, my favorite Bethesda game of my lifetime of all these franchises, I believe.
The first Bethesda game I played was Fallout 3.
Okay.
And I played Oblivion later, but I only played it for like 20 hours, and I stopped playing it. Because it's old, and it sucks.
Wait, Oblivion was old? What, Fallout 3? I thought Fallout 3 came out first.
No, Fallout 3 came out in 2008.
Why did it look worse?
It doesn't. Have you seen Oblivion?
Okay, maybe my memory is not serving
Oblivion looks way worse
I thought
than
Fallout 3 looked bad when it came out.
Well, Fallout 3 has like the gray and like...
Oblivion was colorful.
Oblivion has colors in it, but like the character models in Oblivion are worse than 3.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same, but like Fallout 3 kind of has like a style to it.
Yeah.
Like kind of the dim nuclear wasteland.
Yeah.
It's got like the cohesive style. Mm-hmm. Whereas Oblivion, like right away, that camera just goes right into that character's face, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
But back then it looked so
immediate,
good.
like uncanny valley. Like, what's wrong with this person's lips? It just looks so
weird. All the
weird.
proportions were off.
And that's the thing, is that Fallout 3 also looks that bad now today.
Yeah.
But Fallout 3, see, it's funny because I think for different people it's either Oblivion or Fallout 3, whichever one you played first. And you can love both of them. Like,
you're right. I did play Morrowind first.
I think
the Elder Scrolls series was already one of my favorites because I played it first.
Well, not even just Morrowind. I feel like Oblivion was like the big step. Like Oblivion.
I just mean between Fallout and Elder Scrolls. That might be why I, adore.
But like Oblivion came out in 2005-ish, 6, depending on if you played it on 360 or PS3, and then Fallout 3 came out in 2008. And I feel like depending on which one you played first, that was like when open world games were like, oh my goodness,
taking off.
Yeah,
and they were the only ones doing it very
like that.
Well.
Because you had like Borderlands, but that wasn't the same thing. That was like a loot-based thing, like a shooter. What we call it now.
And there were still sections like open world.
Yeah,
open world, but there's still sections.
Fallout 3.
Fallout was just a giant.
Fallout 3 was like, okay, your save file increases in storage size the longer you play it, because it just saves everything.
Yeah,
like if you move a cup in a house.
Yeah.
100 hours later, that cup is still in that same
that
spot.
Was crazy.
Like, it saves everything.
That is insane.
Yes, but anyway, so I feel like depending on which game you played first was like the game you thought was like revolutionary.
Yeah. So what year you played Fallout 3 in 2008?
Yeah, and I played it like when it came out.
That was your first Bethesda game?
Yeah.
You didn't even play Doom back in the day? Or?
No. I mean Bethesda Game Studios.
Oh, okay.
I mean like between like Morrowind and Oblivion and
Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Okay. So that was your first one in 2008?
That's when it came
When
out.
did
yeah.
Oblivion come out? When did Morrowind come out? 2003?
Yeah, Morrowind's like 2003.
2002, 2003. That's the first one I played on the original Xbox.
And then Oblivion is 2005.
Okay, so I...
Like, late 2005.
So why were you so late to the game?
Because the Oblivion...
You were PlayStation, that's why.
I had a PS3 and Oblivion was on it, but I knew Fallout 3 was coming, so I was like, I'm just going to wait for that. That looks really cool. Because there was already previews of it at the time.
That's probably the difference between you were... you had both systems, but you were mainly PlayStation, right?
Fallout 3 also just had, like... At the time, it had this feel to it of... You can go and do whatever you want in this world, and there were... In some of the quests, there were, like, huge consequences. Like, specifically, the Megaton quest, where you can literally nuke an entire city. Oh, whatever. You can literally just nuke an entire city if you wanted to.
Yep.
And that city is just gone. All those characters and any potential side quests they would start, they're done.
And morality is just great
and
in
that
game,
felt
right?
like the first game where it was like, this is what open world is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, I think, honestly, Fallout 3 was like the start of where... Like what leads to Witcher 3, you know, like where like open world just progressed, like Oblivion and Fallout 3 together kind of just created this huge, and it's sad because Bethesda Game Studios hasn't made a decent game since 2011, really. I mean, they made Fallout 4, which I like a lot in 2015.
2011, hold on. Dishonored 2?
No, I'm talking about Bethesda Game Studios.
Bethesda Game Studios, okay. I was going to say.
Specifically just that team.
What was their last game? Skyrim?
Fallout 4.
Oh, Fallout 4.
Yeah,
okay.
in 2015.
I liked that game.
I liked it too, but everybody, like, the consensus is that it was bad.
Yeah, because it looked like a 2008 game.
It's not as good as New Vegas, and it's not as good as Skyrim, honestly. Like, Skyrim's a better game.
Skyrim is, yeah. I mean,
Skyrim just holds up better, mainly because of the mods,
that's
honestly.
That's an unfair comparison, though.
Yeah.
Skyrim's sold 30 million plus.
Skyrim lives on...
It's a behemoth.
For so long. It's probably still on the top 10 best-selling games on Steam. It's always there. It's just consistent...
Well, it's on Switch now. It's like
but I mean, if you buy it on PC, you can get all these mods and make it look like a modern game. You know,
that's incredible.
There's new water effects and new textures you can download, and it's crazy how much you can do.
And there's a Skyrim Special Edition.
There's also the Special Edition.
So maybe that was their last game.
I guess
if you count that.
They technically released 76.
They did that?
No, they didn't. But like their name's on the box, but they didn't make it.
That's weird. Is it just because of the franchise Fallout?
Yeah, so like...
Didn't Zenimax,
they published it, obviously, yeah. But like, it says developer, Bethesda Game Studios. Additional work done by Bethesda Games Austin.
So it's a different city.
As well as Zenimax Online, who makes Elder Scrolls Online, as well as Arcane, as well as id. So it was just kind of this conglomerate, like...
Yeah.
But then, my conspiracy theory is that they just slap Bethesda Game Studios' name on it to try and sell more.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that either they didn't... it damages their brand. Yeah, that's what's so weird about it. That's what's always been weird about it. It's like... Fallout New Vegas came out, and it was, like, famously just unfinished. Like, you would just fall through parts of the map at some points.
Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah, New Vegas, even.
Oh.
And Fallout 3 was really broken when it came out.
Okay, here's the thing. Fallout 4, I had the same problem. This one quest, basically an entire little hole filled up with water, and I was stuck at the bottom. I sunk to the bottom, and it wouldn't let me swim up. So I was, like, stuck at some wormhole at the bottom of this lake.
Everybody has their Bethesda Game Studios broken quest story. Like, everybody has this. Whether it's in, like, Oblivion, Fallout, or Skyrim, or whatever. Like, everybody has this hilariously broken quest story. Like, I remember...
How do they get away with this?
My friend Pierce had a quest in Fallout New Vegas where you unlocked the M1 Garand rifle in the game in New Vegas. And he was going to talk to the guy to complete the quest, and he just... fell on the ground. And he was like talking to them, and as he was like walking around trying to find him, the game auto-saved or something. And he said he couldn't like get to him, or he couldn't reload his file. Or no, I think he said his last save was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So it was like, whatever, I'm just not going to get the gun. Like, and he couldn't get it.
Wow.
And there's glitches like that. Fallout 3 had a glitch where like a plasma rifle, like a special one, there were certain people where like you'd go in and it would be like elevated in like this chamber. And then for me and some other glitched people, it was laying on the ground and you couldn't pick it up. unless you crouched on it and like slowly spun in a circle and found the exact pocket where you could grab it. And I was just like slowly moving my way around. I spent like 10 minutes trying to grab the stupid gun.
So there were glitches that happened to multiple people.
Yeah.
So the same glitch.
Yeah.
Not just, okay.
And I think it's just a matter of just get the thing out.
Why is it... Why do we have forgiveness for this? Is it because it's such a massive open world that we kind of look over these things?
Back in the day, that's always... So in 2015, Witcher 3 came out in May. And then Fallout 4 came out 6 months later. And that's why Fallout 4 has such a bad reception now.
Witcher 3 looked so good.
Yeah, because Witcher 3 was so polished.
Yeah.
It has glitches, obviously. Every game does. But it's so polished. So well done. It's just hundreds of hours. Every side quest is interesting. Everything is amazing.
Every side quest had a cutscene.
You could say you don't like the combat, whatever. You know, like it's subject to your own opinion, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Fun.
Yeah, people always like, oh, the combat sucks, but I don't know, whatever.
Well, compared to Fallout, I mean, that's a good point. Compare anything to Fallout.
That's a good point.
Sucks.
Fallout 3, you couldn't even you couldn't aim down sights.
Oh my god.
But that's why they used the VAT system the way they did.
Oh, really?
Because the shooting was so bad. I was like, oh, and you can pause time and just shoot their head.
That was cool. That's why I think even Oblivion and Skyrim kind of combat systems.
They're wonky, yeah.
The first person view with sword combat, you're just kind of hack and slash, but it doesn't even look cool to do. It looks like you're like a robot, like you're just moving your arm up and down.
Yeah.
Your shield comes up like instantly, like.
No, I remember playing Battlefield 2 with my clan way back in the day in 2007.
That's a dirty word.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that is a dirty word now. I remember playing Battlefield 2 back in the day, and people were like, "Oh yeah, I got Oblivion, and it's fine, but the combat sucks." Like that was always like people always reference that the game sucks.
We overlook that combat, and we overlook the jank because. And we call it like special sauce or what? It's Bethesda magic, right?
It's way less forgivable now. Yeah,
it's way less forgivable, and that's why Fallout 4 got a lot of shit because they attempted to release a 2008 game in 2014.
CD Projekt Red made Witcher 3 and released it in 2015. They made the Witcher 3 expansion, but it's been 5 years since that game came out.
No.
Cyberpunk 2077, their new game, was supposed to come out, April?
Yeah.
They delayed it to September, and then delayed it again in November. That game better be
good.
Really polished.
Yeah.
And really solid.
5 years.
Like, when I
Because we're not looking at another Witcher for another
When I play that on,
years.
The Series X, whatever I get to play it on, it better look like, the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think
it's going to look good. It's going to be amazing.
It's gonna.
You know what I'm nervous about?
Yes.
What if it's like it doesn't work or it's broken on like the new consoles? That's what I'm worried about. I have this
because it's supposed to be an old console.
I have this pit in my stomach that like there's gonna be some weird hiccups with the new consoles.
Just the new consoles?
Just the new ones.
Is that a thing?
Because they're making these games for old gen. So I have this weird worry like deep in my stomach. Like, okay, I'm gonna wait to play Cyberpunk. To get it on the Series X.
You buy it on Xbox or PlayStation current gen, you get the upgrade for free. They announced on their Twitter. So
yeah, I just hope it works.
What does that mean?
I'm assuming it's gonna work. It should work.
Does that mean you can play it on both consoles if you buy it on one?
No, you get the upgrade of your current console. I'm assuming.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, so if I bought it on Xbox One, I could play it on Series X.
Yeah.
And then I could go back to Xbox One. Let's say if the Series X is broken.
It probably depends on the game. It probably is completely dependent on the game. There's probably, like, they said the PS5... Did you see this?
No.
The PS5 version of Spider-Man will not take your PS4 saves.
Oh, my God.
So if you wanted to just jump into your old save from PS4 on the
Which has everything completed and...
Yeah, you can't. They're different games.
What?
Isn't that infuriating?
Why?
I don't know. It's a different game. They made it into a different game, basically. It's a PS5 version. Is it a
remake of this 2018 game?
No, it's just like an enhanced version of the game, and it's not compatible with the old one.
How?
I don't understand.
Other companies
I think it's because it like utilizes the solid state. Maybe I don't.
Oh, the load times, but
maybe
even then,
it's so weird. Like, because PC games don't do this.
Yeah,
and like that was kind of the whole thought from the beginning. Like, okay, when you buy, like, I bought Fallout. I bought Fallout 3 on PC like years ago, and I still own the game, and I can still download the game, and it runs better now than it did then. you know, and I could use my save from then if I wanted to, if I still had the save that I used in 2010 or whatever.
Fallout 3?
Yeah, anything that I had on PC.
Yeah.
So you'd think that they would make it work, but
that's PlayStation though.
This is PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about Xbox. They're Microsoft.
That's
are
true.
doing the PC thing.
I'm just have this pit in my stomach, like that Cyberpunk's gonna come out.
Are you gonna buy it on PlayStation or Xbox?
Probably Xbox, because it'll look better.
So
maybe.
much better.
And I have the Elite controller too, so.
I'm curious to see, because you were saying
whichever
that,
next gen console I have.
Yeah.
If I can get a hold of one, yeah.
We could talk about that a little bit, but
yeah, because you okay, go on, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Remember Xbox One X version of what was it, of Red Dead looked better than the PS4 Pro version of Red Dead.
It's been that way for a lot of games now.
But I'm curious if that's going to happen with PlayStation 5 and Series X, simply because the Series X is more powerful.
True.
And, you know, it has higher capabilities for those better graphics and whatnot.
That's true.
So are we going to see something similar to that, where it's like, oh, might as well buy it on Series X as for a third-party game like that?
I think the difference is going to be negligible, but we'll see.
But we
won't
saw
really
the difference
know.
with Red Dead. That's my point.
But the One X is way more powerful than the Pro.
Okay.
The Pro is a very small step from the PS4. Like, it's really just like like there's not a lot of extra power in there. It's really just like 4K capability.
Who am I kidding? I bought it because I'm a sucker.
Yeah.
But I'm also, my original PlayStation was launch day PlayStation, so it was
that's why
Microsoft
marketed the One X the way they did, like the most powerful console ever, because it was a big.
It
had more RAM, it had a better GPU, it had a better CPU.
Yeah.
The PS4 Pro was a lot of the same PS4 tech with just 4K capability. Sometimes. It didn't have a lot of extra power. Yeah, and sometimes it's not even full 4K most of the time.
Wasn't it up-resed 4K?
And a lot of the time.
Okay.
But sometimes it's like 1440p, I think, which is honestly like you
still
can't.
Looks great.
You can't tell. From 1440p, that's the cutoff. You can't see past, unless you have like a 200-inch projector. Like you can't see the difference.
Yeah, I had an argument with my coworker because he was saying, "Well, who's gonna buy the Series S? It's 1440. They're not even doing 4K. Isn't that what next gen is?" No, it's you don't need it.
You don't need 4K.
I would say a majority of gamers don't even care about that. They care about price. They care about games, right? They don't necessarily look at the best graphics, right?
So when this is a random tangent, but it's relevant. It's very relevant. When PS3 360 came out in 2005, and then the Wii and the PS3 came out in 2006. The Wii was standard def, and Nintendo was like, we don't really think high def's going to catch on. And a lot of people look at 4K and think the same thing, like, 4K is the next step. Yeah. It really isn't. Like, it's kind of take it or leave it. Like the jump from
what's this 8K thing that I've been hearing about? Like, what is that?
It's so baffling. I don't know. It's just a really high resolution.
So even with 4K, don't you need the right cables to actually?
That's a whole other thing. For 4K, you need special cables. Like there was, are you talking about that article that came out that said that most people who have a 4K TV aren't even watching 4K content?
Yeah.
There was an article that came out. I can't remember the source. It's buried somewhere. I don't know. But there was like a little survey that said that most people who own a 4K TV probably don't even realize that they have to have 4K content to use it with.
Yep.
And they have to have a special HDMI 2.1 special high-speed HDMI cable. And the input on the TV has to be 4K enabled.
Yep.
And to do HDR, you have to go into your TV settings and enable full color or whatever.
That's why I bought an Apple TV 4K, like a 4K Apple TV.
Yeah, I have one of those too. Yeah. And it came with a cable too. Yeah.
Yep, which was nice. It came with a cable.
The One X comes with a high-speed cable too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What's it called? The 2.1?
I think it's 2.1. I could be very wrong.
And then I've heard of this is going to get really nerdy, but like the new LG CXs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So they're like pretty top of the line gaming.
I go into Costco every now and then. I see those TVs, and I'm just like, oh,
they're expensive.
I wish I had those.
The C9 was the last year's model, and it had HDMI 2.1 support. And apparently, this new one takes away that, or maybe the inputs are different. And people are saying it's because not enough people were actually utilizing it, and a lot of people still had 1080p, players. So it is a weird place that we're in where is 4K actually the future, or are we still, at least for games, are we still looking at? I feel like games are the only thing pushing 4K though, right? Like what media? Netflix,
video streaming.
So Netflix originals, a lot of them are 4K, or all of them are 4K.
But like
right?
if you buy or rent a new movie on your Apple TV, they're usually in 4K. Pretty much 100% of the time, they're in 4K or they're 2K upscaled to 4K. Because most movies aren't even shot in 4K.
Explain 2K to me. Is that 1440?
That's basically 1080p.
1080p. Okay.
It's kind of like nebulous. It's like 1080p is the closest thing to compare it to. We never
called it 2K though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it.
Basically 1080p.
Okay.
Like every Marvel movie is shot in 2K.
Oh.
But then they release it in 4K, but it's just upscaled. But most movies are shot in 2K.
So that's not true 4K.
No.
So, did you know that? Okay, when I pre-ordered,
this is like frustrating. It's
when
like,
I pre-ordered my PlayStation 5, the PS5 camera, comes with it broadcasts in 4K.
Oh, your iPhone can do 4K.
Yeah,
too,
iPhone.
But that's the thing; it's just pixels.
Pickles.
Pickles?
What's the pickles?
It's like it's a matter of like, do these extra pixels even matter? And I think there's a case to be made that like, there's a point of no return to the point where
I understand pickles more than I understand pixels.
I feel like beyond 1440p, you can't see the difference.
Yeah. What are some of those arguments that say the human eye can't even see past 120 frames?
Oh, that's dumb. Yeah, that's stupid. You can see the difference between 120 and 60 and 240.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, 60 to 120. If I could tell the difference between 30 and 60,
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure you could tell the difference.
Just because the human eye sees in like 25 or whatever, what the heck it is, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You can still see the extra frames that are coming at you. Whether you can process every single frame, like it doesn't matter.
It still will look
That's
better.
always a dumb argument. But
as far as pixels,
yeah, it's always like games that are in 4K, they have all these extra pixels, and like games that are on Xbox One X and they're Xbox One X enhanced, they're using all this extra power to process all these extra pixels that most people can't even see. Even if you have a 4K TV, like if you put a 1080p image and a 4K image next to each other on a 60-inch TV, it's kind of hard to tell the difference.
Huh.
But you could tell the difference. It's there, but it's really small. Like I'll be playing a 4K game on my One X, like Halo, that's an old game, or like, I don't know, any 4K game. Gears 5. You play Gears 5 on my One X, and then I'll go and play Horizon on my PS4, my base PS4. And in some cases, it looks better. I can't even see like the resolution difference. You know what I mean? It's more about like if the game looks graphically better. Yeah,
I think that's what it comes down to.
And if it's optimized better, and if it's like the frame rate too is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like if you had Destiny 2, 1080p 60 frames or 4K 30 frames next to each other,
it might look better on the.
It'd probably look better on the 60 frames one because it just look crisp and smooth.
Everything when I see playback on YouTube of PC gamers streaming it, Destiny 2 and 60, it looks better. It just looks cleaner, crisper,
when
smoother.
You have 30 and 60 next to each other, 30 looks like a strobe lights going off on the TV. Yeah, it's so weird. How
I've done it where I've switched between Destiny 2 and then something like Overwatch, or going from Destiny 2
I remember when Overwatch came out and we were playing it, and then we jump into Destiny. You're like, oh, like what happened?
Like you got slowed down, like you're like sloshing in mud all of a sudden. Like what?
Oh, man. Or even Siege with 60
and people that don't understand that, I get it. Like.
If you don't care, you don't care. Who cares? I don't want you to care.
But if you're switching between first-person shooter and that's 60 and 30, you can see the difference, especially going from one to the other. You can tell the difference right away, especially if you're huge into competitive gameplay. I remember when we used to play Siege all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I loved that 60 frames. Like, it was a buttery, smooth 60 frames. And going from that to Destiny... after we were done playing or whatever, you could tell the difference.
I played Siege 2 days ago with everybody. Yeah.
No invite? What's up, bro?
I'll send you an invite next time. But it was weird.
Yeah.
There's so many operators.
Really?
They have so many
Sam
abilities.
Fisher's in there now from Splinter Cell?
Sam Fisher's in the game.
He's called Zero, right?
He looks nothing like Sam Fisher.
Lame.
We're gonna.
There's no three.
I want to see Josh's reaction on air
please
right
don't.
now. It is comical. Hold on.
He better have the classic 3 green goggle glow or whatever.
He does. That's like his logo or whatever. All right, everybody at home, look up Sam Fisher Rainbow Six Siege just so you can see.
No.
This is what he looks like.
No.
That's what he looks like.
Is that Joel from The Last of Us? What is that?
This is him. That's
not him.
Yeah.
That's not my Sam Fisher.
That's Sam Fisher.
That's not. What is he? That's some alternate universe, bro. That's not Sam Fisher. That's not the Sam Fisher I know.
That's him? That's what he looks like in the game.
I don't like it.
Like, whenever he comes up on the, like, character selection screen, it looks like a joke.
You would never know. Wait, where's the 3 green goggle thing?
He has it in the game, and he's got, like, some special gun or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, can you put it on?
It is.
Can you put the goggles on?
I don't remember. I haven't played as him. I don't know. I saw, like, Eric play as him once.
That doesn't even look like... I remember...
Yeah, there he is. There's Sam Fisher.
Oh, my God. That's not even him.
And what's even funnier is that in his bio...
Is it the same voice actor?
No, I don't think so. It didn't sound like him.
Okay.
What
is the point?
When you go to the bio in the game, it says he's like 65 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What
he doesn't
timeline
even
is
look
that?
at him. He doesn't look 65.
That's not 65, yeah.
It's like 50 something. I don't know.
What I'm looking at is
Isn't
not
that comical?
Sam Fisher.
Like, it's so
like
weird.
Old Santa Claus.
Okay, what's funny is we were talking about this. Like, Eric was playing as Zero, and Eric was like, is this supposed to be like Sam Fisher or Splinter Cell guy or something? And Pierce was like, no, it's just like a third echelon member or something. And I was like, no, it's Sam Fisher. And Pierce was like, no, it's not. And I was like, the bio says Sam Fisher. And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, like it doesn't look anything like him.
Yeah,
it's weird.
That's a bummer. And Sam Fisher deserves a full game. Come on, Ubisoft. Like, we've waited, Blacklist came out, 2012?
They should bring all the Splinter Cell games to Game Pass. And that would be sick.
Please buy Ubisoft next. Microsoft.
That would be great. I can play all the Far Cry games.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is unfortunate because I believe Sam Fisher has shown up now in 3 games that he's not even in. Like, he's not even the star.
And he's got his own VR game coming out.
Oh my God. So he's been in Ghost Recon, Wildlands.
And that was kind of like a cute little cameo, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and then he was playable. He was playable in Siege now, and he's playable in that mobile game, something Squad, Elite Squad. Yeah. And now he's going to be playable in VR, but he doesn't even have his own game.
But he hasn't had a game since Blacklist in 2013. 2012?
2012, yeah.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And even that game didn't have Michael Ironside as a voice.
Yeah. So but they still did a better job with him than all these.
Conviction came out in 2010. So it's been 10 years since we had like a full-blown Splinter Cell game with Michael Ironside. It's not like
Blacklist did bad either. From what I heard,
I don't think it did bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
just
played
had, like,
it
the hub worlds. Or
when I bought Xbox. I saw Blacklist for like $3 or $5. You know, when I first bought my Xbox.
You played all of it.
And I went through recently because I didn't get to play it back in the day when it first came out in 2013.
I had it on PS3, but I only played like half the campaign, and I mostly just played the multiplayer.
I think I moved on too quickly to PlayStation at that point, PS4.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was into Destiny and Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, and all that. So I completely missed this game, and it was too expensive. I didn't want to drop $60 on it. So, but yeah, I replayed it, or I didn't replay. I played it for the first time like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
On Xbox, and it was incredible. The story was cool. The gameplay and the combat was fun. Like, why is this game? Why are they sitting on this franchise? Why are they dicking around by putting them in little, all these different franchises? Come on, Ubisoft. That's my rant for the day.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I played the first Splinter Cell.
Wait, hold on. How are we on Splinters? Wait, how did we get here?
I don't remember. We were on Bethesda, and then we got into... I have no idea how we got here, but I don't really care that much, honestly.
Frame rate. We were going
on frame rate. Yeah.
So something like...
I've played the first Splinter Cell. I played most of it, like the 90% of it. I played a little bit of Chaos Theory. Not that much.
First one's the best one.
I thought Chaos Theory was the best one.
It is.
Everyone says Chaos Theory is the best.
First one's my personal favorite one. You know why? Because that was one of the only games I had on the original Xbox as a kid,
Yeah.
and I just kept playing it over. And
I
over
remember
and over.
playing the multiplayer in Pandora Tomorrow,
That was cool.
like split screen on the PS2.
Yeah,
that
was
what?
groundbreaking multiplayer.
But then Chaos Theory had like the co-op,
Yeah,
and I played that a little bit, not enough.
yeah.
I have Chaos Theory on Xbox. I have the
Ooh.
disc that I got from GameStop.
So on
like, a long
X,
time
is
ago.
it enhanced for X?
Yeah, but just like it looks a little, just higher resolution. That's it. There's no like new graphics. For some reason, well, like original Xbox games just kind of look how they look. It's kind of like, they're gonna look bad no matter what. But Xbox 360 games, you know, depending on the game, they look really good.
Yeah, like Oblivion.
Yeah. The games that are 1X enhanced, like Oblivion, do look better.
Oh,
like,
really?
Because like Dead Space, you put that in, it's gonna be like 720p or
Which we're gonna get on Game Pass,
why?
right? EA.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that. Okay, yeah. But
How cool is that?
Yeah, I'm sad I bought it for $5 a couple months ago.
$5, come on.
I shouldn't have. I'm dumb because I bought Dead Space for like $5 on a sale on the Xbox store. I own it on Steam, and I can play it like 60 frames, whatever,
Yeah.
like full blown, like all
With
the
the
best
controller,
settings,
with the
whatever I want. Like the Elite controller works on every Steam game, practically any game with controller support.
That's
Whatever.
hilarious. So I kind of have the same problem where I see older games like that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I bet they'll be on Game Pass one day.
Mhm.
I'm just not gonna buy it.
Yeah, now I don't buy anything on Xbox.
I literally
Nothing.
don't.
I don't buy anything. It's like
Is
I'm
this
terrified.
working? Here's a question for bringing it back to Game Pass and all that. Is this gonna work against Xbox?
No. It'll incentivize other developers to put their games on Game Pass. Like, oh man, our game's not selling on Xbox. Microsoft's like, oh, we'll pay you a certain amount of money if you put it on Game Pass. Like, oh, okay, cool. Honestly, it's surprising to me that we haven't had, because we've had really big games that kind of blew up because of PlayStation Plus, like Rocket League
Yeah.
and Fall Guys now. Like, Fall Guys would have been popular no matter what on PC.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's exploded.
Yeah, because you got
'Cause you
120
can just
million.
play it.
You have 110 million PS4 users.
Who could just play it with their subscription.
Yep.
And there hasn't really been a Game Pass game like that. You know what I mean? There hasn't been like oh my god, this game just exploded.
Outer Wilds.
Maybe.
The Outer Wilds.
I mean, like on the level of Rocket
That's
League.
like critical. Yeah, you're right. That was more critical.
Rocket League and Fall Guys are like phenomenons. Like
Yeah.
hugely. Like, did you? Oh, breaking news! A couple hours ago, they announced, or today they announced that Rocket League is going free to play.
I thought it was. What?
It's not.
Oh, did I just have it?
You just had it
always
probably,
had
but
it,
now
yeah.
you can like you'll be able to.
I probably got it with PlayStation.
Yeah,
Plus,
you had it on
right?
PlayStation
So-
Plus, but now you can download it for free on like Switch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can. Yeah, that's
I'll
what I mean.
jump into that on Switch. That's
Yeah,
a cool.
actually
That's a
sounds
fun
like
one.
It sounds like a fun portable
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
I think
awesome.
it's crossplay on everything.
That would make sense.
I think
They're
that was like
if
the
they're
first game to
smart.
do it. I think actually,
Yeah.
and I think
That's
Fortnite was the next one.
awesome.
Yeah.
So my save or my whatever
Oh.
profile.
like you care?
I don't.
Do you
I
have your car skin?
I almost bought like a Batmobile back in the day.
Actually,
but-
I think I own the Back to the Future
Yeah,
skin.
that
I think
thing's
I
awesome.
paid for that
so
one.
you don't even want that to transfer?
Yeah, I want that transfer. I had the Back to the Future car in Burnout Paradise too. That was really great.
Yeah. So Game Pass kind of has this
Gay Pass?
Game Pass. Game Pass. I need to pronunciate a little better.
Enunciate.
Oh, is that the wrong word? Enunciate.
Game Pass Ultimate.
Ultimate is incredible.
$14.99 a month.
$14.99 a
We're
month.
just shills here to advertise Game Pass too.
We are, dude. This sucks because
Corporate shills.
That's the funny. Are you a shill if you buy every console though?
No, I just want to play every game.
That's
Or have
the
the
thing.
ability to play
I'm a
every
gamer.
game.
I want to play all these games that are coming to Game Pass, right?
I
This
want to have the PS5 to
Yeah.
play Spider-Man 2 and
Yeah.
Miles Morales,
God of War,
Horizon
2.
2. Well, that's in my PS4. A better version of Horizon 2. And then I want an Xbox so I can play Halo.
Yes.
Master Chief Collection.
No, get out of here. Okay, that's the thing
No, 'cause
now.
I want to play the new Fable. I want to play
here's-
Avowed. And
Here's
all
the
these
argument now.
games.
Here's the argument. You got Bethesda now. Are you ever gonna play? Are you ever gonna pay for another Bethesda game?
No.
Why?
Never.
Why am I ever? I didn't care about EA games really, except I did like Battlefront.
Yeah.
The first one.
I like the first one for what it
second
was.
one was cool once it hammered out all of its weirdness.
I haven't played it.
It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Wasn't it on Plus?
The first one was so good though.
Was it on PlayStation Plus, or did I buy it for a cheap price?
Yeah, it was on. I think it was on PS.
I think it was on Plus because I have it in my library.
Yeah, so like I never really cared about EA games as much. I bought Anthem for $7 when it was on sale.
I know. I bought it for $5 when it was on sale, and I regret.
I don't regret it because I'll probably play it on PlayStation 5 because I'm sure there'll be a free upgrade to PlayStation 5. If they don't, they're idiots.
Yeah.
Because their game failed.
Anybody
so
not doing a free upgrade is stupid.
Yeah, you're just
like Control or whatever. Ugh.
Yeah, you're
stupid.
Control. Yeah.
So
and are they a smaller developer?
Well, Remedy's kind of small, but
yeah, I guess.
Not that small.
I get it's a hard
indie.
It's a hard thing to
indie,
balance. Think about that. That's a smaller developer, smaller, I guess, but their game. It does take time to, put people on this to upgrade it for the new consoles.
They're not small, but they did make. I guess the story was they made Control for a really low amount of money. Like it was kind of on a tight budget. But they're not like a small developer. I mean, they made Alan Wake and.
We're sitting here and being like, yeah, I don't want to pay that, but then we bought Nintendo 3D All-Stars, which is like all these old games.
You want to talk about 3D All-Stars?
If you want to pivot to that.
That's all I've been playing for the past few days.
Are we going to... do we have anything else we want to say about the Xbox Bethesda acquisition?
I don't think so. That's been the only news last week.
That was the big news, and then we kind of went into our favorite Bethesda games. Which you didn't explicitly say your favorite.
Oh, my favorite of like the whole umbrella of games?
Of all of the Bethesda Zenimax games.
The one I played the most is probably Fallout 3. But I'd say my favorite, I think the best one is probably Doom 2016.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I think the one I played the most is probably Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Because I played Fallout 3. It came out, I remember this very well, October 2018, and I played it a crap ton. I played like 80 to 100 hours, did everything I could possibly do in the game, and by the end of October I was done. Played other games in November, and then...
Wait, did you say 80 to 100 hours?
Yeah, 80 to 100 hours playing Fallout 3. Now,
Fallout 3. I thought you were saying Doom, my bad.
Trophies were not a thing at the time.
Ooh.
Trophies came out in August of 2008, so before Fallout 3 came out, but Sony didn't require every game to have trophies until January of the next year, 2009.
Oh, it's required?
So Fallout 3 came out with no trophies. It had no trophies in it. They added trophies at the beginning of December. And I went back and played another 80 to 100 hours and platinum the game. So that game I probably played the most, and I just loved just because it was fun going back and platinuming it, just like doing every little thing in the game.
My brother Scott, who wrote in last week, definitely, I believe Fallout 3 was one of his favorites. He liked Oblivion as well, but I remember him playing Fallout 3 on the weekends for hours and hours and hours. So I'm pretty sure he liked that one a lot too. So I get it. I get that. So you would say that's your favorite, or Doom 2016?
I think Doom 2016 is the best, my favorite, like overall. I've only played it like 1.5 times.
Yeah.
But that game is just
What do you like about Doom 2016?
It's just like visceral and you just running around shooting stuff, and that's all it is. Like it's just so polished and so fun.
I beat that game.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You beat it? Yeah, it's so good.
It's so smooth.
Yeah.
First person shooter, the movement, I think that's what it is. The movement feels fast paced. Mm-hmm. You never feel like you're
always moving.
You're always moving, and I think it's designed that way.
Yeah, it totally is. If you don't, you die faster. You know? It's like you have to just.
And I remember someone telling me that before I played it, so I actually intentionally moved a lot and jumped around a lot and like found new spots and stuff. And the way that game works is you go into like one portion of the map and you have to find a different colored skull, right?
Yeah.
Like blue, yellow, or whatever, and it unlocked different areas, or you had to get all 3 pieces to unlock one area. There were some cool puzzles in that game, not like puzzles, but it was cool, like in a first-person shooter to have that mix-up. But the combat, if I remember right, you had to, I think, melee to get health.
Well, when you would shoot a guy and he would hit like a certain damage point, he would start glowing, and then you would do the like finisher move on him, and then it would spit out health.
So health was melee.
So you're trying to do these like finisher moves and like chain them together, basically.
But something else was ammo, right?
Yeah.
So
you didn't have to reload though either.
The game incentivized you to play and engage in combat in unique ways. That was really cool to see. Like I would have never cared about meleeing that many demons.
Oh yeah.
Like I would have rather shot them all, but yeah, it forced me to do that, and it actually was fun.
Well, that's what incentivizes you to run around because you want to get up in their face to get the health boost and everything. Yeah. But I've been playing since Mario 3D All Stars came out on Friday, and it is $60 for 3 old games. I wish I played. Have you played it at all? Did you buy it?
No.
You didn't buy it?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy it.
I bought it and I played Sunshine. I got like, I don't know, 10 to 15 stars in it. And then I was like, I really want to play Galaxy. I really want to try Galaxy on this. And I have been playing nothing but Super Mario Galaxy.
Everyone says that's the best one.
It is. Because it was 60 frames on Wii.
Wow.
And it's 60 frames now.
Wow.
And it's just in 1080p now in 60 frames. It looks so...
Are you playing handheld or are you playing
both?
TV? Okay.
Mostly TV.
Yeah. Just for the frame?
No, not even just that, but like... So... In the Wii version, you would have like the Wii pointer, and even while you were playing, you'd have the pointer on the screen at all times, and you can use it to collect like the star bits.
Yeah.
When you play handheld, you have to just grab them with the touch screen, and it's kind of cool that you can just like swipe really quick and grab them, but like it takes your hands off the controller to grab those like star bits and everything.
That's on Sunshine?
No, this is for Galaxy.
Oh. Okay.
Sunshine's the GameCube one. Now for Galaxy on Wii, it works so well as a Wii game on the Switch. Like, I'm surprised they haven't brought more Wii games to Switch. Because, like, the Joy-Cons work as Wii controllers really well.
That makes sense.
Like, and you can do the motion controls, like, for the shake, for the spin attack, but they also map it to a button.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Do you have to? Can I use a Pro Controller?
You can use so you have to use a Joy-Con or a Pro Controller. Those are the only two controllers that work. Because... there are motion segments of the game,
but a PS4 controller has
it doesn't work.
Motion sensor. Okay,
no, only the Nintendo motion sensors will work.
So I should buy a Pro Controller.
You could just use the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I guess.
The Joy-Cons work fine for Galaxy. Use whatever controller you use for Sunshine.
I've been
64.
debating buying I think I texted you earlier this week, a Pro Controller or something different than my Joy-Cons because I love the Joy-Cons, but the drift on them is pissing me off at this point.
I know. Well, apparently the Pro Controller can have drift too.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Like, I was looking into buying one, and in the reviews there's people complaining about the drift.
Oh my god.
I know, it's infuriating.
Think my wife, she's a nanny, and she was watching these two kids. Great kids, but... Man, I think they destroyed my Nintendo. Because after that, that's when the drift was extremely noticeable. Because it's the way the kids, I guess they don't quite understand, that things could break, the mechanics and all that. Like,
just whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of go for it, and they move their thumbs so sporadically.
Yeah.
And, they weren't really careful with it. They were fighting over the controllers at one point, so they're yanking on the analog stick. It's just so I've been looking into other options.
Yeah.
You gave me you showed me Amazon link, right?
So you can buy like a USB adapter to use like a PS4 controller.
I might just do that at this point. $20. So.
Yeah. But
anyways, move on.
Yeah, Galaxy's amazing. I'm sad. I would have rather bought just a Galaxy collection. Of just Galaxy 1 and 2.
There's only 2, yeah.
There's 2 Galaxy games, but Galaxy 2 is not on this collection.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah, like it bums me out that I can't just go right into Galaxy 2.
A lot of IGN was actually
like,
hey, like, I don't really care about these other ones, but Galaxy I wanted to replay. Even Ryan McCaffrey, who's known to be the Xbox guy at IGN, he came out and said, you know what, I really adored Mario Galaxy on the Wii, so he's like, I bought it and I went back and played it. It was awesome. So,
yeah, it's a bummer because Galaxy 2 is the only Mario game, the only 3D Mario game that is a sequel to the previous one. Because you have Mario 64 and then Mario Sunshine, and they're very different games, super different. Mario 64 has like Like you go into each level, you collect the stars, whatever. But then Mario Sunshine completely changes the controls and gives you like the flood cannon. And then Galaxy has like the little orbital space gimmicks. Galaxy has so many unique mechanics it introduces in every level. It's insane. And then they made a second one that introduces like more new stuff.
Now, do any of those mechanics transfer to Odyssey?
No. That's the thing. Is like
so
Odyssey is its own thing.
Every
Yeah.
3D Mario is completely different from the past.
And then 3D World on the Wii U is like its own thing too. Like every 3D Mario game is different, but then Galaxy is so good that they just made another one. You know what I mean? Like that's what's frustrating. It's like, why can they just bring Galaxy 2 with this collection? And I'm hoping they release it at some point.
Would people say Galaxy 2 is better than Galaxy 1?
Most people say that, yeah.
Okay.
And I played Galaxy 2 at the time, but it's been so long. It's been 10 years
Maybe
now.
they were thinking of just keeping it simple. The 3D
They're gonna
All-Stars,
re-release 2 for $60.
Yeah. Well, aren't they re-releasing the Wii U 3D Mario? What was the Wii U 3D Mario?
Yeah, that's $60, yeah.
What was that?
3D World.
Okay, see, does anyone know 3D World?
Yeah, people know what it is. They just don't know about it because it was on the Wii U.
Yeah,
that's about it.
I've heard more about Sunshine and Galaxy than I have about 3D World.
3D World is not... Well, it's confusing, too, because before 3D World was 3D Land on the 3DS. And that was a 3D Mario game, like a full-blown 3D Mario game on the 3DS. Exclusive to 3DS.
Help me with the timeline on that. When did 3DS come out compared to the Wii U?
2011.
In the Wii U?
2013.
The Wii U was only a year before?
Oh, hold on. I'm a little thrown off. You know what? Wii U was 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out first before the other consoles.
Okay.
Yeah, Wii U was 2012, then the 3DS...
They're always a half step.
Yeah, so here's Mario 3D World. Mario 3D World 2013. And it's actually... I should take it back because I said there's no like Mario sequels. This game was kind of a sequel to Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, which came out in 2011.
Okay.
And I love that game.
The naming convention sounds...
Yeah, that was like
Land,
a brand new 3D Mario game, and you can only play it on 3DS, and it's still stranded there.
3D Land and 3D World, that's interesting. That's like, yeah, isn't that their naming convention for... Oh, no, that's something else. But Land and World, right? Like Land
Disneyland?
Yeah, I was going to say Disneyland, Disney World. So Disneyland's the smaller one, and Disney World's the bigger one, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of went with that.
Oh, yeah, so
that
this
makes
is
sense.
coming to Switch next year.
Does anyone consider it a sequel?
I don't think so. I think people think of it as like its own game.
The big old 2, you know what I mean? Like Mario Galaxy 2, that's obviously a sequel.
Yeah.
So,
I guess it's more like a successor.
I could see that, because maybe some people didn't have 3DS and they had the Wii U.
I doubt it. 3DS actually sold pretty well.
Better than the Wii U, I assume.
Wii U sold less than the Vita.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's confusing too because this All Stars collection is going away at the end of March.
You gotta remind me to buy it before that.
But it might not even matter. What if they? I'm so frustrated. What if they like re-release it again with Galaxy 2?
And
like,
then
that'd
you
be so
want to buy
scummy.
that.
Yeah, like I don't know.
They would do that. They
or
would.
Maybe they're gonna release it as part of like a collection of games.
Hold on, Galaxy 2. When did that come out? What year?
2010.
So it was before the Wii U.
Yes.
So they're re-releasing 3D World for $60.
Yes.
With a little expansion, I think something about
Bowser's Fury. Yeah.
For $60, which is
that's insane. Yeah.
But I guess we all bought.
But you can buy Galaxy, which is probably better than 3D Worlds, and Sunshine and 64 for $60. You know what I mean? Like the value is weird. Yeah. Like 64 alone is better than World. And you could say the Galaxy's better than World. I haven't played World.
You mean?
Yeah, 3D World, yeah. I haven't played 3D World, but like the general consensus is that it's not as special as any other Mario 3D Mario
Odyssey
game.
was just
and Odyssey's amazing too. Like
accomplishment.
The whole thing
was so good.
The whole thing's weird.
I know your brother Michael played Odyssey more recently, right?
Yeah. Well, he got a Switch later than everybody else, I think, too.
And he adored it though, right?
He loved it too. Yeah, he loved. I think he liked it more than Zelda, honestly.
Yeah, I liked it more than Zelda.
Oh, really? Wow.
You're not surprised about that. I never even beat.
Oh yeah, you didn't beat Breath of the Wild. Yeah. Crazy person.
I know. But I beat Mario Odyssey.
There was the thing. There was somebody came out on Twitter. I mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago that there's this YouTube channel I follow called Modern Vintage Gamer, and they talk about emulation all the time. And somebody on Twitter has been data mining the 3D All-Stars, and they found that in the custom emulators that Nintendo made, that there's features in them that aren't even used by 3D All-Stars. Like certain graphical capabilities that are used by like Mario Strikers or like Wind Waker, like certain other games on GameCube utilize these graphical features that are built in to this emulator they made.
Whoa.
But 3D All-Stars doesn't use them. So there's like this thought that, okay, are they going to release more GameCube and Wii games?
I could see that. Yeah.
And are they going to be limited again?
That's right up in Nintendo's
Like,
alley.
are we going to get another, like, okay, here's Galaxy 2 and, I don't know, Mario Strikers Charged or something. You know what I mean? Like, are they just going to start bundling games together? Like, I don't know why Galaxy 2 is not in the collection. But I feel like they have every intention of
3D All-Stars, they had to keep it 3 games. That's why, I assume.
I guess.
3D All-Stars. Right?
Mario All-Stars had 4, though, technically.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, the side.
Yeah, it had lost levels on it. That's the full game, technically. I don't know. It's weird. I want to play Mario Galaxy 2. I don't want to have to emulate it.
So what do you like about Galaxy that's better than Sunshine?
It has like the orbital kind of gravity stuff. Like you run around like these little tiny planets, and you like can jump between planets, and they have like their own little gravity.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. And like you can jump in between like these like centers of gravity.
What? That's like Outer Wild.
I haven't played Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Yeah, it could be borrowing from that. I don't know. But or I mean, Outer Wilds could be borrowing from Galaxy.
Yeah.
But it has all that, but then it has like its own. There's like, you know, the traditional like 2D sections, like Odyssey. You know, has like
That was cool.
yeah, but like Galaxy does that in certain ways. It doesn't like change you into a little pixel art or whatever, but it has like 2D sections. It has like the little orbital sections. It has like open sections, like Odyssey, where like you're in a big open area. It's just there's so many different things. There's like the bee suit, and like there's so many mechanics just like constantly being. It's like that feeling you play when you play Odyssey, when you just feel like you're just constantly discovering new things.
Yeah.
But I think it's even better than Odyssey because you like every level is just amazing. And it's also not that hard.
Better than Odyssey.
Oh, it's better than Odyssey, I think.
Is it bigger than Odyssey?
No, like the worlds in
Odyssey
Odyssey are bigger. The levels are bigger, but Galaxy has more levels. Like way more levels.
Yeah.
But they're not as big.
Yeah. Each one of those worlds in Odyssey seemed like there was multiple levels in between.
Yeah, it was like multiple levels within this giant, huge. What was there, like 9 levels? Like there's just giant, like 9 massive levels, whereas Galaxy has like 20 or 30 little levels.
Okay, I might like that better.
Yeah, no, it's like
contained.
they all feel self-contained, and like this has 3 stars, and it has like a little icon that lets you know if you have all the stars or not.
Oh man,
but
okay.
but like the stars are not hard to find.
Yeah.
But at the same time, some of the stars aren't that easy to get. So I haven't had that much trouble so far. But yeah, like I'm gonna get all the stars.
Odyssey, I felt like hit a lot of stars.
Yeah, they're more hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
This game is less about like hiding them, and they're some
more
of them
about
are,
skill, trying to get like jumping.
Yeah,
up them.
some skill, but like it's not that hard. But it's not like super easy either.
That's what I love about
it has a good balance too,
Nintendo first party, and specifically the Mario games is the ones that I've played. It seems like they're very intentional on where their placement is, especially of these stars, right? It's almost like they probably designed it in some weird, little big white room 3D of just I want to try this mechanic and make this mechanic work to try to grab this star. All right, let's put this in the game. And they made each, it seems like they put a lot of care in each of these stars.
Yeah.
So that's actually making me want to actually buy it this week, maybe even. I was gonna wait a minute to see, let things settle a little bit. I was paying for a new console and everything.
I know. So. I mean, there's no rush as long as you
before March.
Before March, yeah. Do you want to do how many reader or listener questions do we have?
I think 2.
2.
One is just a
compliment. You guys are great.
Yeah. Let me see.
Any negatives yet?
Yeah, they're all negative.
Garbage show.
Let me quote this correctly. So Evan from California writes in and says, quote, "Side note, I listened to the first episode of your podcast and it's great. I've been saving them for when I drive around to clear my head, but I haven't had much time this week with lesson planning for my students. But I love the length of your episodes because it lets me settle in and just feel like I'm hanging out with friends."
That's exactly what I wanted this show to be. So that's perfect.
Thanks, Evan. That is awesome.
What I really wanted this show to be was kind of like Rooster Teeth used to have like the Rooster Teeth podcast, and they used to call it Drunk Tank. And it was the podcast started as just them drinking and talking about games. And they were just like hanging out talking about games. They weren't like, they would talk about like news and stuff going on, but they weren't like, oh, this just in, breaking news. Like they weren't like newscasters
or like full on analyzing. games
analyzing
on a professional level.
Yeah, because we're not that.
Yeah,
and they weren't that. And that's kind of what I wanted the show to be. Was kind of like the old Drunk Tank episodes, where it was just like a couple guys just hanging out talking about games.
Yeah, we did that anyways. Might as well turn that into a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's just like. And also just like an outlet for me, honestly, just to be able to talk about random stupid crap like this. I just want to be able to talk about ATV Off-Road Fury and Star Wars Racer Revenge.
And why Oblivion is better than Fallout 3.
That's objectively not true.
Get out of here. So another one, really quick. This one's a little bit long. I'll try to read it fast here. David from California writes in and says, quote, "Your Burnout discussion reminded me of an awesome game I played the crap out of on my PS3 called Split Second, and I'm wondering if you guys have played it. If not, check out this video about it. It sums up why it's awesome pretty well." And he linked YouTube. And then he continues and says, basically, it's an arcade racing game with super satisfying driving and a fairly high skill ceiling. And you can also build up a meter that allows you to trigger events on the track to try to wreck your opponents. And those events can be pretty awesome. Explosions on the track, helicopters dropping stuff, airplanes crashing onto the track, etc. It's a game I played a ton of on PS3, and they were supposedly working on a sequel that got canceled. I would insta-buy a sequel if they ever picked it up again. End
All right.
quote. Have you heard of this Split Second from the PS3?
I have, and I've not played it, but yeah, let's see, Split Second. Okay, yeah, 2010 came out on PS3, 360.
I have heard of it
published
as well.
by Disney. That's weird.
Disney Interactive Studios, huh? I have heard of this game, and I remember
I've never played it. I was thinking there was another racing game like this that was on 360 exclusively, but I can't remember what it was called. But it wasn't this. But what's funny about this is this was developed by a studio called Black Rock Studio. Guess what they made?
No.
They made ATV Off-Road Fury 3 and ATV Off-Road Fury 4.
No way.
So they like continued on the legacy of ATV Off-Road Fury.
That is awesome.
And what's even crazier, too, is they made MotoGP, which is a PC racing game that I played a ton. It came out in 2002, and it was just like a motorcycle racing game. I played that game.
That sounds cool.
I played that game a ridiculous amount.
The only motorcycle game I played was Road Rash.
Yeah, I remember that game.
But that sounds cool.
But
Small world.
We're just gonna keep cycling back to ATV Off-Road Fury.
All these callbacks. Maybe that should be our new podcast name.
Callback.
The ATV Off-Road Fury.
A discourse about callbacks.
Furry ATVs.
Oh no.
This callback is going like 3 episodes now.
One of these days. Oh, look at this. One of the platforms it was available on was OnLive. Remember that?
No.
That was a streaming service before Stadia.
OnLive?
OnLive, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was a streaming service.
So it's Stadia before Stadia?
It was like Stadia before Stadia, and it failed,
What?
yeah. I remember I used the beta,
What year
and
was
it didn't
this?
work.
They were ahead of their game in 2010?
I don't know about ahead.
Online 2009 to 2015. Okay.
Defunct 2012. Where do you see 2009 and 2015?
In the beginning, OnLive logo.
Oh, that's their logo. Yeah.
Their logo lasted. Isn't it still around?
Yeah, it launched 2012, and then went defunct in 2015. Didn't last very long. I know Sony acquired their patents, and I think some of that is used in PlayStation Now.
This is the deepest I've ever gone into video games where we're talking about OnLive.
I know. Well, yeah,
from
I know.
ATV Off-Road Fury and Split Second.
That's just what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep derailing the show every week. We're just gonna, instead of calling it...
thanks for writing in, David. Wow, that is incredible.
Just kidding. We're renaming it to Derailing the Show.
Yeah, and I did look at some videos of Split Second. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I know. It was fun.
It looks fun. It looks like Burnout and, in 2010. So
one of these days we're going to have to do a Let's Play of MX Unleashed or ATV Off-Road Fury.
That's going to have to be our first one, right?
Oh, yeah. That'll be the only one.
Yeah, the only Let's Play that we do. Maybe we could do Split Second, but we got to do Burnout.
We should just record an episode while we're playing.
Yeah. I was thinking...
post a video show.
A little side tangent. I was thinking, because I did get the PS5 camera... I might force you to get the PS5 camera because I believe, I believe with its 4K capabilities and with their new, what is it? It's not share button anymore.
Oh no!
It's the
change the button?
create button.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, they just renamed it, but I'm hoping that this create button allows you to allows you to play with a friend online, create your own video, so broadcast your own video, and we basically can do a Let's Play when we're both in our own houses.
See, Josh, I'm not just sharing my video, I'm creating content for the masses.
This is speaking to the younger generation, all right?
This little video I made of me teabagging my opponent in Call of Duty, that's content I created with the create button.
Yeah, this is yours. This is your content. No, but I think it might give us an easy way to do a Let's Play if we're both at home and we could just hop on and set aside an hour to dick around in ATV Off-Road Fury.
Yeah, ATV Off-Road Fury. I don't know how we're going to acquire the game, but we'll just end up playing it on an emulator or something. I'm going to find a PS2 emulator and play it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's on Xbox One.
It might be.
Compatible.
Maybe we'll look it up after the show.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to add this week?
Well, I mean, what have you been playing? Just
All-Stars.
Oh, just All-Stars all week? You know what? I actually wrote down.
So I started Galaxy Saturday evening. I started Galaxy. It's now Wednesday. And I have 80 stars out of 120. So I'm almost there.
Wow.
To get the true 100% in Galaxy, you have to beat it twice. But I'm not going to do that. You have to get all 120 stars as Mario. And then you unlock Luigi. Oh. And you have to get all 120 stars again as Luigi.
Oh.
And then
Does he play differently?
Yeah, he plays a little differently.
Okay.
And he has his own
That's like a New Game Plus.
Yeah, but then you get an extra level at the end. But I don't think it's anything special. I don't have time to replay the whole game.
Are there abilities in this game specifically?
Nothing that's exclusive to Luigi. There's just the B suit that you can get. They're more level specific.
So it's not technically a New Game Plus if you're not keeping all your old...
you don't transfer anything over.
Okay, all right.
New Game Plus Luigi.
You know what? I did write down something else for news that we kind of glossed over.
Sure.
We've glossed over this for 2 weeks now, going back to news. But I figured it would be a disservice not to mention this, but Oculus Quest 2 was announced, and there was pre-orders that went live last week.
Yeah. So... does it play Half-Life Alyx? That's all I care about. I need to look that up.
Look it up. Yeah. I'm not sure. But neither Matt or I are VR.
You've thought about getting a PlayStation VR a couple times.
My brother Scott has VR. He has the Vive. I don't know which version. Probably the first version.
You gotta just go over to his place and play it.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that. COVID thing is
hard
now, but
it's probably the grossest thing too.
Yeah, putting someone else's
on your
headset,
face,
spit all over and sweat.
Why are you spitting on a VR headset?
Because you're screaming. So I have played it. Game? I have played it pre-COVID, so I've played. I've played VR before, and it is incredible.
Yeah.
the leaps and bounds that they're able to accomplish.
I went to PlayStation Experience many years ago, and I played the Star Wars Squadron. They had some X-Wing expansion for VR for Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh,
this is years ago.
Oh yeah,
and that was cool.
I remember that.
That was the only VR experience I've had, and it was cool. But
in Vive, there was a bunch of mini games use this bow and arrow, and you actually had to hold the bow in your left hand and pull back the string, grab an arrow and pull back the string and fire, and it actually felt like the tension, like you could feel it.
Yeah,
in
that's
the controllers and stuff, and that was really cool. Going back to the Oculus Quest 2, the only thing I know about this is Oculus is owned by Facebook, I believe.
Yes, they are.
So
yeah.
Facebook bought Oculus.
Yeah.
Which kind of turned me off from it. I'm just like, oh, they're just gonna push Facebook gaming games or what, mobile type games.
Just another way for them to watch you.
Yeah. No, I don't care about that. It's their loss. They want to watch my every move. That's how boring. But the Oculus Quest 2 caught my attention because this is
you don't need a gaming PC for it.
You don't need a gaming PC. You don't need a PS4 like PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
It is all self-contained in the headset and your two side controllers. And in that headset, apparently it has. Don't quote me on this, but I believe it has an OLED screen. So
probably
in a crazy high definition screen.
How much does it cost?
120 frames. You're looking at, guess what? $399.
That's the same price as PlayStation VR.
Yep, $399, and it's either $399 for the high end and $299 for the lower end. And the only difference between the high and the low end, I think, is space. Honestly, I'd have to look.
I'd have to look up what games you could even play on it.
That's what I want to know because
can you play Beat Saber on it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm assuming you can. I don't know.
And what does that look like? Do you just push on?
Yeah, you just play it.
But what do you do? You put
the first Quest was like that. You don't need a computer for it.
So, but the first Quest had wires, right?
No.
No?
It's the same thing as this, but I think the 2 is more powerful.
2 is more powerful. I've heard it's faster, all the things.
But
faster, more powerful, better looking,
just
lighter,
the
more comfortable.
Original Quest that came out last year, I think, just seems like magic. It's full VR with nothing.
Wow.
No PC, no PlayStation, no hookups.
That blows my... It's like Star Wars with Luke Skywalker just throwing on that in episode 4, I think, right? He's just throwing on the VR headset when...
the blinders? Where you can't see anything that we're talking about?
Is that all that was? I thought that was a cool VR thing.
You didn't know that?
It's been a while since I've
the
seen
whole
those.
point of that scene is that he can't see anything. That's the
why
the line
is
of
it
dialogue.
so? Why not close your eyes, buddy? You don't have self-control to close your eyes?
You need to rewatch that scene. And you're gonna cringe at this conversation.
Oh my gosh! I guess I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Because he literally says he puts the helmet on him and tells him
I can't see anything.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Oh well,
and
so it's not like
that.
that.
Retroactive, you were like, oh, that was like VR.
I just assumed my brain went straight to VR. But that's cool that Oculus 2 coming out. It actually made me think about it because I think it's $299 for the 64 gig version.
Oh really? Wow.
It's VR games aren't that many gigs. They're a couple gigs each. Yeah, from what I heard. So
well, I know the thing is with PlayStation VR, it's apparently the weakest one. It's the best selling VR unit.
Yeah, because of PlayStation.
It doesn't look as good as the Vive or any high-end one, but apparently it doesn't even look as good as the Quest.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because the PS4 is using a PS4 and it's got the headset.
Yeah.
But I guess the PS4 is weaker than what's in the Quest 2.
Wow.
That blows my mind.
So
I mean, the PS4 is 7-year-old tech, so I guess it makes sense. But.
So if I'm right, and this is just a $299 entry for no cords and no system attached, no PC attached, if I get some extra...
You're going to get a Series X, a PS5, and a
VR and
unit.
A Switch Pro, and a...
Oh, gosh. I forgot about... I'm not even considering getting that.
Really?
I don't care.
Honestly, I
don't care.
Oh, really?
As long as it doesn't have exclusive games, I don't really care.
What if it has 1080p handheld?
Oh, that'd be cool, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care that much.
What if it has 4K? No, they said 4K capability.
The rumor is that it won't be handheld.
Oh.
That's the rumor. The rumor is that it's going to be just like a console.
So they'll have the Switch that can do both, and they'll have the Switch Lite that can just handheld.
My theory is that they'll just keep releasing games on the original Switch, and then you'll have like an enhanced Pro version of the game on the Switch Pro. That will be docked only. No, I don't think you have to buy it again.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be docked only. That's my theory. We'll see if it's true. They're gonna try and make it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It's Nintendo.
Well,
Nintendo made the new 3DS.
If any of our listeners know more about the Oculus Quest 2 or are interested and they do a bunch of research and can send us more information about it, maybe
we can do it ourselves.
No,
we'll
or maybe
back next week.
No, we're giving you homework. So look up the Oculus Quest 2, check the specs, see if it's something you want.
You can write in if you have a VR headset about your experience with that.
Yes, please.
If you like a Job Simulator or not.
Where can they write in, Matt?
They can write in at adagamingpod@gmail.com. Or you could tweet at us, whatever, or send us a text message, which is some of this feedback has been coming from.
Don't give my phone number out.
Oh, yeah, here it is. It's 555. But, yeah, ADA Gaming Pod is our handle for everything. Josh posts on the Instagram all the time. He's posting, like, random polls and all sorts of stuff, fun stuff.
A little fun side project.
But, yeah, follow the Instagram account, ADA Gaming Pod. We also have a Twitter account that's not as active as the Instagram one.
Yeah, I retweet stuff, retweet news on Twitter. We only have a couple followers on that one. We have way more on Instagram.
Follow the Twitter one though, because that'll always post like when the new episodes
Twitter will be more
up.
New episode, and then just retweeting news that's relevant to gaming. So I'm not gonna spam you, but I'll retweet the big news.
Yeah,
I didn't get to go over the games I was playing.
Oh yeah, but what have you been playing?
We could do this really quick because I know we're pushing 2 hours now, but really quick because this was kind of.
I was just so excited to talk about All Stars. I didn't care about what you were playing.
Apparently, we could have done mine first and been over in 30 seconds, but
Destiny 2.
I haven't been playing much except for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War PlayStation exclusive alpha.
You've been playing that?
I went into it. Yeah,
Are you serious?
It was only over the weekend.
You kept this a secret.
Yeah, so it was over the weekend. It ended on Sunday. I actually went to go play it Sunday, and I couldn't play it. I was a little disappointed, but I played it Friday night and Saturday a little bit.
It wasn't available to play Sunday?
No, they ended it when I went on at like 4 or 3 in the afternoon. They must have ended it at like 10 in the morning or something. But or maybe 12, I don't know. But I played it a little bit on Friday and a little bit on Saturday. And it's a Call of Duty. But
how is it?
I was impressed by how silky smooth it was, even on just a PS4. And I know this is going to be a PlayStation 5 release as well, and a Series X release. So it's going to have next-gen capabilities.
I'm interested in the campaign more than the multiplayer.
Yeah, the campaign looked interesting. It had had Reagan?
Yeah, it had Reagan in it.
Who plays Reagan?
It looks weird and kind of wacky.
Yeah.
And
it reminds me of Call of Duty, kind of the side stories of zombies.
Yeah,
right.
And it's made by Raven, and they haven't made like their own game in so long. Like it's like a new Call of Duty game by a new developer, basically. So
I actually have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah.
The only critique would be that it's just another Call of Duty, but I think they're going to put Warzone on it. So that's going to be kind of weird.
Are they?
Yeah, so you're going to have Warzone's going to live on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's going to be. So Warzone's the new Battle Royale for Call of Duty. Yeah, you're going to have
what?
You're going to have Modern Warfare Warzone on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I already saw the full title screen.
Because Warzone's so popular.
Because Warzone's so popular.
I was wondering about that.
So the title screen says, not exactly, I'm paraphrasing, but it's like single player, campaign or whatever, and then it says multiplayer, which is your standard. Then it said Warzone, and then next to it was options. It was just like.
And I'm assuming it's crossplay between Modern Warfare and Black Ops.
So they're obviously not gonna make you buy.
This makes a lot of sense.
But what's gonna happen, I assume, is they'll probably get rid of the Modern Warfare one because it's free, right? So
I think they'll switch it over so that now when you search Warzone on the store, you're downloading. Because now when you go and you don't own any games, you own no games, no Call of Duty games, you go and you want to download Warzone, It's 100-something gigs, and you're getting the entire Modern Warfare game.
Yeah, but you can't play the entire.
No, you can't play it. It's like locked off. But now they'll probably switch it up so that now
standalone.
You're downloading all the Black Ops Cold War game, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
what
probably won't do
They'll
standalone.
switch it over.
They'll want you to be like,
Yeah.
oh man, I have all this hard drive space.
They probably because they want you to. They try to hook you on the ads in the game. Like, hey,
yeah,
spend $50 and you can get the whole game, and then boom, you have it. You already have it downloaded. You don't have to do anything special.
It just unlocks it.
It just unlocks it.
That's
yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah. And I did that with
creepy.
Warzone. I unlocked the Modern Warfare game, and I bought it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Why?
Like in March or whatever.
Was it
Because
cool?
me and Pierce should play it. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
How's the multiplayer in that?
It's really good.
Just the
I
multiplayer,
like
not
it.
the
Yeah.
Warzone.
I like the multiplayer in that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law Jeremiah actually plays a lot of the multiplayer there. He says it's fun. So with the multiplayer, so in Black Ops Cold War, the new one, it actually intrigued me because it was slower paced.
Oh, really?
The time to kill TTK was a lot slower
Oh,
and
I like
noticeably slower than Modern
that.
Warfare.
Oh, I like that.
Not as slow as
Like Halo.
Destiny or
Okay,
Halo,
yeah, okay.
especially Halo or Overwatch. You
Yeah.
know, God forbid. But but basically, it was noticeably lower where you actually had to strategize a little bit. You weren't just running out and getting headshotted instantly.
yeah.
You know, and that I actually liked that more.
Yeah.
I played a bunch of close quarters maps. What Call of Duty does great is their map design is just incredible. I can't believe after all these
Well, it
years
just
they
feels
still
good
have
to play too.
they still have great map design. Like I still remember the corridors in the one map I played that was like one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like I still remember that layout just from a couple games playing in it.
Yeah.
Same with this giant one, which for domination, so it was like capture the points or whatever. Kind of Battlefield-esque, but that one there was multiple ships like freighters and whatnot, aircraft carriers and whatnot, and
Wow.
all the teams spawn on different sides of this battleship field, right? So there's a bunch of battleships, and you could take little boats in between the boats. You could take zip lines in between the boats, and they're giant boats. But it was
There's zip lines. That's
it
cool.
was so cool. Like, and the zip lines were fast enough where you weren't. It was hard to get shot down from that. So I appreciated that, especially with the slower time to kill.
I feel like Black Ops had zip lines.
I
at
felt
some
like
point.
I was good at this game.
Oh, really?
And that's probably
Probably
why
because there's a public beta. And
there's a public beta on PlayStation. It was a exclusive to PlayStation Alpha.
Yeah.
They called it Alpha.
Oh, okay.
But it was silky smooth, and it makes me actually consider buying this game for the new console. I haven't bought a Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, I think.
Oh, wow. Holy crap.
I don't even think I played 3.
You bought Black Ops?
Oh, is that after 2?
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2? Okay, so then
Black
I played
Ops was like 2010, yeah.
I didn't play Black Ops 2, though. I think I just fell off.
I think I had it. I don't think I finished it.
So
But
anyways, that's my Call of Duty
yeah.
rant. That was cool. It was free to play on over the
that's
weekend.
crazy that they're bringing Warzone through. Because, like, in 2018, Black Ops 4 had the Blackout mode, the Battle Royale, and that just got forgotten.
Yeah, what
but
happened?
now
Is that just the first iteration?
Yeah, and then Warzone was just so...
Did they not support that anymore?
It wasn't free to play.
Oh, yeah. So
no one cared.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warzone went free to play, and it just exploded with popularity.
And so many... And it was... Yeah, that one was smooth, too. It's just... Call of Duty's always felt good to play.
Yeah, it's always felt
So
good.
it kind of... A Battle Royale just made sense.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'll gloss over Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
You've been playing
So my buddy was like,
Did you
"Hey,
buy
I
it?
never gave you a gift for having a kid."
What?
Yeah, so he's like, "I really like Iceborne. Have you ever heard of Monster Hunter World?" I was like, "Yeah, I've played like 80 hours of Monster Hunter World." He's like, "Let me buy Iceborne, and we could play." And I was like,
Oh,
"Okay,
wow.
cool." So, and that friend was Taylor. Taylor. And it was really cool.
Obsessed with Monster
Oh
Hunter.
yeah, it was cool catching up with an old friend who lives in Georgia now. He's been moving around. He lived in
He lives in
California.
Georgia now?
Yeah, he lived in a bunch of different places.
Wow.
But, so I, reunited with an old friend. Got to play some Iceborne, which I played the beta when it first came out. It was really cool. I was planning on buying it, but never got around to it. So it was cool to actually jump in. I'm going to be playing a lot more of it because I love Monster Hunter World. So
It's amazing that game is big.
It's so
like Capcom's best-selling game. And Monster Hunter used to just be so obscure
Yeah.
and little, and now it's just massive. It's crazy to me.
Mass appeal. It's a fun game. I jumped into, just really quick here, I jumped into Rayman Legends
Oh, that game's amazing.
and Sonic Forces.
I don't know if that game's
So
good.
not good. So those are polar opposites. But Rayman Legends was free on PS Plus a while back, and so was Sonic Forces. I've mentioned this before, but I was kind of going back and playing just all the games I missed on PlayStation 4 before PlayStation 5 comes out.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back and see. Okay, I got this for free. Might as well plug it in for 2 seconds, So that's exactly what I did. I probably won't return to Sonic Forces. It was cool. It did this weird thing where it switched between like going forward in 3D,
Okay.
and then switched to side scrolling mid mission, like mid running, like. You would fly. You would be going forward to go off a jump, and then the camera would pan around, and you would all of a sudden be going sideways. So I never knew which way my thumbstick was supposed to be pressing because you had to press forward in order to move in that game. So I don't know. That game was weird. I think it didn't review well. So
Probably not. It's a Sonic game.
yeah, there was one Sonic game that reviewed well recently though. So
I
I think it's on my Xbox. I gotta try that. I can compare it. But anyway, Sonic Forces, whatever. Rayman Legends though, I was blown away. I didn't know that game was good.
Rayman Origins and Legends are both amazing.
I would have played that a long time ago if I had known, but I totally missed this game.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And I'm definitely, I feel like I'm going to try to beat it at this point.
It's probably not that long. Isn't
It's
it?
not. It was kind of overwhelming because you get to like the HUD world and there's just a bunch of big pictures that you can jump into, like kind of like, what's it called? 64, Mario 64.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but like 2D. But that game was just, it was fun to play.
Yeah.
Like it's a side scroller, just weird, wacky platformer, 3D side scroller. Wait, 3D platformer? Yeah.
Well, no,
It's
it's 2D, but it's like on a 2D plane with
2D
3D
playing with
graphics.
3D,
Yeah.
and it's a platformer, like kind of precision platformer. A lot of it. It was like time.
Yeah.
It was about timing,
Yeah.
and it was about you don't actually kill enemies. You just kind of use
Yeah,
them.
not really. Yeah,
You just kind of like avoid them.
I haven't played those games in so long.
Maybe you kill them. I don't know. But it was fun. I'm gonna go back into that. There was some unique levels. I only played like 5 or 6 missions, but that was fun. So check that out if you did get it on PS Plus and wanted and just completely passed it, or if it's on sale or cheap.
Yeah.
That's a great game. And I actually looked up the reviews on it and all the Metacritic and everything. It has a high Metacritic score, and I can't believe I missed this one.
I don't think I finished Legends. I don't know if I ever even played Legends.
There was a bunch of DLC for it. It seemed like.
Now that I think about it, I might not have played Legends, but I beat Origins. But yeah, they're similar.
Who made?
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So that's like their big platformer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they haven't put out another one. I think Legends has been a while now.
There's
right?
a mobile game that I downloaded a while back, and now I'm gonna play it because.
Is it the same game?
Oh, that's a
Is
good.
it
point.
Rayman Legends?
I
I know. I think it is something
Rayman
different.
Adventures.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, I don't want to pull
Josh
this
is
up.
just loading it up on the show. Just
I think it's a Rayman.
goes quiet
Adventure.
while he's playing a game on his phone.
We should wrap this thing up. We've been going for.
Yeah, we're already at 2 hours.
Wow.
Crazy.
This is the longest episode we've ever done.
Yeah.
All 4.
Well, the first one we did was 2 hours, I think, right?
Yeah, but we're over 2 hours right now. Unless I guess you're gonna cut out some things. But
No, not really. Like
yeah.
10 seconds of dead air, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Well, so okay. Do you want to just do our plugs really quick?
Yeah, well, I already plugged the. If you want to send us any questions or comments, ADAgamingPod, adagamingpod@gmail.com. Podcasts go up every Friday on podcast services of your choice. If you have any feedback, positive, negative, anecdotes, anything fun that you want to add to the show,
Or you want to tell me that I'm wrong?
yeah, tell us that we're wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong. That Fallout 3 is better than Oblivion.
You are
that
wrong.
kind of thing,
that's
you know?
the
Or that you don't care and you want us to stop talking about it and you want us to talk about other things.
Move on, please.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everybody. We hope you enjoy our rambling and just the amazing amount of work that we put into the show for you. And I hope you appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Damn it.
Anything you want to add?
This has been a discourse about gaming. We love you.
Farewell.